Good morning, everybody. How are we all this morning? I hope we're all doing well. Hope we're chip and chipper. And hope you liked the last few videos we've done. Someone said I looked out of breath with Drew. Is this because I've been wrestling that guy before we turned on the video? See, Drew's been real cold. See how you detected the thyroid weakness there? Drew's really cold out here, and we've been talking about his thyroid a lot, so he's been on the desiccated warming up. But you can see he's still tested weak with the thyroid. But I love kinesiology. I think it's a great tool, you know, to help and assist. And also when you're having healing crisis, you can have someone do the back, do the sternum. Remember, always clockwise when you work on these neurolymphatic points. There's charts available you can buy and stuff. So, good stuff. So, hello everybody. The reason this is take two, because I was addressing WonderWise here, and then Chris pulled me off some stuff. WonderWise, man, I don't know what's going on. I tell you this, I talked to Kelly last night. She had her appointment. I don't know what to say. I mean, she's telling me you're slandering us in all kinds of ways, and telling her to go to Dr. Mercola or something. And Mercola, excuse me. I mean, it's all right if you want to be down at the bottom of the mountain, but I don't know. I'm reading these emails this morning, or these YouTube things this morning, and Kelly's saying bad things about you, WonderWise. So I don't know if it's you or Kelly or what. You seem to be nice here and supporting us, and I love you all. So, you know, this is sort of thing that is the human consciousness, you know, and the trap of the mind. See, now look at this. 11, 11, 11. I was waiting this morning and looking around, but I didn't see anything. A few beings walking through the house, of course. That always happens, but 11, 11, 11. I love that. Very spiritual, but we'll see if the consciousness shifts sometime today at all. This was in response to this girl I was talking about that had the brain tumor. No Greater Love. I love your name there, man. No Greater Love. I love that. But this is a response about what young granddaughter with chemo and radiation. It wasn't meant to be negative. It's just that we live in a world of just such deception. I mean, in the patriot community, we look at things, and sometimes maybe there is conspiracy theory minds and stuff out there, but it's often thought that when if you look at the birth certificates, which now is on bond paper, which is interesting, just like your Social Security number's on bond paper. You also notice a little red account number on the back. That's your account number, and the letter is your Federal Reserve Bank your account is in. And you know, it's been estimated that everyone has a $10 million. Each Social Security number is tied to a $10 million account. And banks use it, different people use it, but you're not supposed to know about it yet. What was it, House Bill 192 or something? When they took the silver away in May or June of 1933, another Roosevelt, great one. Everybody thought Roosevelt was so great. Bankruptcy in March 33. Took the gold standard away that summer. I mean, just keeps going on and on and on. Some really gnarly stuff going on here. But this thought, of course, that because you use your maiden name, the woman uses her maiden name and the father his given name, that sets up a bastard child, and then the state has jurisdiction over bastard children. And so, well, I mean, these are all, you know, ideas that people have, and because the idea that state has jurisdiction over your children is a little freaky. But this is a good case where that's out of balance. Because in this, when you have a case where the child has a brain tumor, it'd be better to let Berinsky work on her. That's the sad thing about this all. It's not difficult to get tumors out of the body. Brain tumors a little more difficult, but not difficult. It's the chemo that starts damaging all the cells in the human body that accelerates the difficulty. And so you got two problems. You got the chemo side of this, which is very difficult. I have a picture here I'd love to show you. I don't know what I can show and not, whether the parents would agree, but the medical doctors literally killed this 10-year-old and had leukemia, which leukemia is a very easy cancer to get rid of under these health programs, considering cancer is not a disease. And so understanding how you refurbish the blood and the bone marrow and the spleen, how you rebuild the body, that's key to understanding everything, of course. And but they gave her chemo, and this little girl had an extreme leukemia. It went from basic, simple leukemia, we'll keep it in those terms, to aggressive or chemo-induced. What was that good for? What did that serve the allopathic community to do that? It's another one in a long line of grave markers, and it's just out of balance. And it is possible if you can get your child. Generally, they'll do everything they can to your granddaughter, and then finally, when there's nothing else left, they'll tell you there's nothing else left. Then you can bring her here, and then we're working like crazy to try to save them. I mean, it's a reality. Forgive me. I don't mean to be insensitive, because I'm not insensitive. My problem is it can unbalance me, because that pulls me into this drama and this criminal activity and the suffering imposed. It's like the Dark Ages and some of these prisons, what they do to people. Heck, some people had it better than giving them chemo. So this is a sad, sad situation there. If you can get your daughter, which granddaughter should be totally fruitarian right now, and get on the herbs and start getting her bowels fixed up, getting her kidneys or her adrenals, and getting this tumor out of her. So it's just a difficult situation. No question about it. Not incurable, but the gloom and doom is the hand she's in right now, and your limited ability to do anything about it. Just watch the news. They'll chase you down and throw you in jail just so they can give your kid chemo. Phew. If that isn't out of the pages of some horror flick, I don't know what is. We can only do our best to let God do the rest. Well, the trouble is we all have to be here for God. You can't expect God to just say, well, God's going to take care of this. You're the channel. You need to take care of this. We need as a society to hold medical doctors responsible. And the problem is not enough people have heard enough yet to rally up and file some class action lawsuits against them, to really put a big damper on this kind of crap. I have a quick question. My weak adrenals. You have me on some specific formulas to target them, including the adrenal desiccated, but I was wondering if drinking green tea occasionally, about 3 times a week max, will affect my healing. No, not at all, my friend. Nope, not at all. No greater love. That's what I have. I just am so familiar with where your situation is. I can't even begin to tell you. I'm not new to this field. Wonder Wise, man, I don't know what's going on here with Kelly. I had a good talk with her last night, and, there's no more talking to it. You either get with it or you don't, Kelly. I don't know what to tell you, honey. I'm all for you. Are you worried about your friends? And have churches given her foods, and should she eat it? And hell no. You sit there and tell people you're on a program to win this. You educate people. You can't be the leaf blowing in the wind, and that's kind of what I perceive you to be a little bit, Kelly, is a leaf blowing in the wind. So you become the wind. Sangpakua, John Kennedy. Hey, Indiana. Dr. Morris, my tongue is turning white 4th day on fruits. This is mucus. Yeah, your tongue. This is typical. So keep going till your tongue peakens up a little bit. Had a lady from the YouTube in here the other day, and her tongue literally was black. Black as night with no moon. And she said, oh, this is nothing. It was a lot worse a few days before. Now, I've seen a lot of tongues, but I don't believe I've really seen charcoal black tongue. This was amazing. Wow. It's how toxic people are. That's what we're up against. Let me see. I did talk about osteoporosis. I got that one down. This is this one I pulled up here to see if I've got 24-year-old male dry heaves and sometimes throws up. And when you go dancing and all that, I think I addressed this. Stomach and solar plexus. This is about the autonomic nervous system. Yeah, I know I did address this. But definitely, if you have to, go slower. If you have to use the Heal All Tea for a while and kind of start detoxing slower, make sure you're up on the fruits that you can tolerate. But when all these fruits, all these herbs have a drawing effect, so they will draw and they will, if you have toxicity in the stomach, they can make you throw up. But you know what? Dr. Christopher said, well, if you throw up taking herbs, it just means there's room for more herbs. I always like that. But be gentle. You don't go gentle at first. Work yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. And then, keep going deeper and faster and deeper and faster, and you'll overcome this sort of thing. Typical with a lot of people that have weaknesses in the stomach and solar plexus here. There's a lot of gastroparesis out there, paralysis of the stomach now. There's just so many things going on with the humans that, and you just got to do the same thing. These people always throw up. I've had it so bad in here that person couldn't eat anything, not even do water well. And then she'd always throw up. But her husband had a pesticide company, and he sprayed his yard with, and I forget what they call it, but it's banned now, but not DDT, it was something else. But he sprayed his yard thick, his whole yard thick with this. Well, he said, I haven't seen a bug on it in 10 years, but his wife walked barefoot on it and then got gastroparesis, which is, that neurotoxic effect, shut down her autonomic and, of course, shut down her stomach. Yeah, we went over the raw bovine stuff. Okay, tear it up. Let me see. I swear. Oh, I want to say, JG, was it you talking about, what was it someone was talking about this morning? Oh, man, I couldn't believe it was you, JG, you and your boyfriend. About fructose causing uric acid. As far as I know, uric acid is a byproduct of fungus, but a byproduct has always been thought to be a product of proteins, and the breaking down of certain proteins created uric acid. And you made a comment to that questionable comment. I think it's all questionable. I think biochemistry is all very questionable. It's like this understanding the kidneys are the eliminative organs of the lymph system. But if you looked at A and P, you would see the other concept where your lymph dumps all the acids back into the main duct and then into the inferior vena cava, right into the venous system at the heart area. Why would you dump acids back in the blood? And to think that your body converts all acids to base. If you were if all chemistry in the body was broken down and reutilized, you would never have to eat and you would never have elimination. You wouldn't have a need for that, because everything would be reused, broken down, reformed, and reused by the human body. But that's not the case. You do have excrement. You do eliminate cellular waste outside of the human body, and you certainly eliminate digestive waste outside of the human body. So, and it might be the same thing with uric acid. A medical doctor turned naturopath And it might be the same thing with uric acid. A medical doctor turned naturopath. She had a blood chemistry seminar, and I went to that because, again, I played the biochemist game early on in my life. It was exciting. I've always done well in chemistry and biology, and that's always been my love, is these areas. And but it didn't take long to realize that this wasn't the doorway, and that everybody disagrees, everybody has opinions, and so I don't know, JG. I don't see how fructose, any different than glucose, would convert to uric acid in such a way. Everybody I put on fruits eliminates their uric acid. Matter of fact, I had a gentleman, wealthy man, flying all around the world looking for someone to help with extreme uric acid problems. Extreme pain, extreme. No one anywhere, he'd been all around the world, could help him. Put him on the fruits and put him on the thing, clean that uric acid. This was an extreme case. I've had plenty of uric acid cases. This was an extreme case, and pulled him right out of it. So I don't know. I ate heavy fruit. I ate heavy fruit. I didn't notice any uric acid affecting me. So I don't know. You know, this is why, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, guys, why I say keep it simple. And it's not just because I'm a simple person. I've got a mind that likes to tear things apart. And, you know, I'm bad that way. I'm like a Perry Mason. But in the end realm, it just we just do not have the awareness to understand the chemistry and magnetics of this planet to where we think we do. We are narcissistic in our science thinking, and it's just things aren't as they appear. That's all I can tell you. A lot of things just aren't as they appear, and so that's why I say keep it simple, especially for you people that want to help others and you don't want any conflicts. Keep it simple. You know, you're a health you're a detoxifying specialist. You're a health expert. You know what it takes to clean out the body of all these acids and inflammation, regenerate the human body, whether it's cancer, whether it's AIDS, whether it's fibromyalgia, lupus, arthritis. Doesn't matter. Doesn't stop you, does it? Nothing stops you because you know the secret and the simplicity of it. If you get intellectual, then you run the risk of being wrong because there's so many people that are wrong in what they think. And I just don't want to give out misinformation. I'm real cautious. When someone asks me a question about something, unless I've had an experience with it, I'm real cautious to tell you because I just don't know. And if I don't know for sure or haven't had experience with it, I'm not going to give you a statement on it. And I think that's how we should all do that. I've had experience with colostrum, for an example. I've had experience with uric acid issues. I've had experience with these things, and they just don't fit what was being talked about there. So I don't know, JD, but thank you. This thing with WonderWise, by the way, Kelly was saying you were helping her with it, but at the same time, it seems like WonderWise, your comments this morning were quite nice and loving. So I don't know what the heck's going on there. You know, I will say this, and no offense to Kelly or anyone, but sometimes when you ran with pain for so long, she's in constant pain. Well, then stop talking, do something about it. But when you're in constant pain, sometimes it takes a toll on your emotions and stuff, and sometimes you think things maybe that are not always true. I don't know. But I love you all, and I appreciate your all love and everything like that. I want this website to be a good, loving website, a healing website, or a YouTube channel where we are. It's an education channel, and I'm always open to grow. Let me tell you guys, I'm always open. I listen to what you guys are saying and see if you guys have found out something I'm not aware of or something. I love that. Because I'm pretty locked in my clinic, just constantly busy, and if I read everything that came through to me, I'd never have time to even take a breath. That's a problem now. I work almost 24 hours a day as it is, so I got to have some R&R, or I just go nuts after a while, you know. But so I'm always listening to what you guys have to say, but I want you to always keep it in context of the simplistic. Because then, because there's a lot of theories out there that are just that, theories. Dr. M, I swear I'm getting a buzz when I take the herbs straight without boiling off the alcohol. Yeah, this is a good idea. It won't hurt the herbs if you boil a little of the alcohol off. Not at all. So the issue here is that there's no other menstruum right now, medium, that you can distill these herbs in that'll pull most of the herb out because obviously the best way to give them to you is fresh and raw. Dried herbs, okay, they don't have a shelf life. A lot of people have digestive problems, and that's why I like the liquids. So I don't know. I've had a lot of people on them. If you're sensitive to that, burn the alcohol off. Or you might have to go to the capsules, but I don't have everything in capsules. It's so expensive. There's only a few, one or two encapsulators actually in this whole country that are any good that can get the volume of capsules you need at a reasonable price. Let's put it that way. Because people are already complaining about prices, and when you encapsulate, it costs you a lot more because you have to grind the herbs, and then you have to send it away to the encapsulator, and the encapsulator encapsulates. So you got postage both ways. I mean, it's a nightmare. It's like on our God's Blend, our superfood. It cost us $4 more a bottle. Cost us $4 more a bottle to have them encapsulated. It's like, oh God. There's a lot of things like that people don't realize. Girl gone vegan. Girl gone. I promised my friend that I would ask her a question on here, so here goes. She is healthy and active. Last year she got some viruses, she thinks, around September. Soon after, she had a very high heart rate. She is feeling well now, but the high heart rate has never gone away. She is an active mom. She said the heart rate is so high that it alarms her. She also wakes up drenched in sweat. She's in her early 30s. She does take a compounded T3 for her thyroid. Hello, but she is certain that it is not why. Why would you be certain that's not why? The thyroid is where it regulates your heart rate. So it is your thyroid. Now, to me, it sounds like you're on too much, but I don't like compounded T3, especially if your TSH is off, because then you want to work on your pituitary here. So the T3 could, and if you're on any type of iodine, this also could be tripping you up with hyperthyroidism. Something's tripping you up with hyperthyroidism. Yes, it could be coming from the pituitary. This is why glandulars are much more effective than actual T3, T4. Much better, because you're going to weaken your thyroid here. But it sounds like something's kicking it up into hyperactivity. That would account for the night sweats, and that would account for that. But your body could be doing this for other reasons inside of you too. Your body's could be trying to oxygenate your body well. She could have lung problems, not breathing good enough, and the body needs to oxygenate itself better, so the thyroid kicks itself up, moves blood faster, oxygenates the body better. I've seen that in a lot of cases where the body had to kick up the heart rate to get the oxygen to the body better. So it is possible. But then when you're on a compounded T3, wrong way to go. Use glandulars and get away from these things, because this only serves to weaken the thyroid, and it's only T3. She was taking that before it all happened. Yeah, but you know what? That doesn't mean it's not the issue. It really isn't. Have somebody muscle test you on the T3 maybe, but the T3 could work fine for a while, and then you could, for reasons of many, you could see a hyperstimulation of that. Could be an iodine compounded with the T3 that's now creating hyperthyroidism. You don't know how they compounded the T3. So she just got her kidneys checked by the OBGYN, and those are fine. I guarantee you there's no way an OBGYN person can tell you you have great kidneys. There's no way on this planet. There's only one science that I think is halfway effective at determining kidney function, and that's your iridology. If you can't do a creatinine look and say, oh, your bunny creatine's good, you're in good shape, that's stupid. Can't do it. This concept of using blood to determine the condition of the body is ridiculous. Even the Mayo brothers laughed at that. So the Mayo brothers said blood's only 20-25% accurate to determine body symptomology. Well, of course, blood's only 25% of the systemic fluid. But don't ever think a medical doctor can tell you you're good and in any way, shape, or form, and you believe that. You need to look a lot deeper into this world. And if she's 33 years old, she's got weak kidneys, guaranteed. early 30s. It's just the degree of the weak kidneys, and she's got the adrenals too. You just are not going to be early 30s and not have kidney weakness. I'm sorry. You just that would be a miracle. And this OBGYN man or lady could never. They're not the ones to be able to begin to tell you that. There's no test they can do, not even blood. The iris is the real look. Pee in a jar. Are you filtering? That's just filtration. What's neat is so many people come in here in pain, and there's they've had MRIs, CAT scans, and the bottom line medical doctors say it's in your head. The iridology now, this was established and founded by a surgeon. It was in the medical hands for a while. They should take it back and learn it, because you can see where they're having pain, where a CAT scan and MRI. We think an MRI sees everything on the planet, and you know better, and they know better. They can't see acids causing pain in tissue. Are you kidding me? Unless those acids make those tissues get hard as a rock. And now you've got some density to have those magnetic waves bouncing back at you, give you some kind of picture. But till then, you can be in big time pain, which a lot of people are, and they can't see it. The value of iridology is really incredible there. Spooky. When you spoke of Tom's not being the best toothpaste, well, if you read the labels, and you made a comment here, when I looked through your store and checked out your sunscreen, it was similar to the same old sunscreens you would get at Walmart. No, they're not. We have Tate's and we have Jason's. I asked Brenda about that. Tate's is an Amish company that makes everything 100% natural. Jason's, I might say, I don't know. All you can do is order these companies in and see what's in them. I haven't looked at Jason's sunscreen, so I couldn't tell you. Could be some stuff in Jason's, but Jason's supposed to be so pure. Remember that? And the same with Tom's, but if you read the labels. But Tate's wouldn't have anything in there that I would know. So I don't know, Spooky Man. What about that? You just do the best you can with sunscreens, but we try not to carry anything in here. Sometimes you order stuff in thinking the company's really reputable, and they're not, like Tom's. Tom's has a couple of good ones, but if you read them, they're and the same with, probably the same with Jason's. Tate's is a great company. It's an Amish-based company, and all their lotions are food-based, kind of like Mary Gladstar's face cream. Great face cream, Mary Gladstar's. Love it. Good herbalist. 6 months eating fruit and God's herbs, still in pain, right lower back. This is a common in the right back here. You'll feel a lump right there a lot of times. That's a kind of like a nerve / lymphatic. Remember the neurolymphatic points of kinesiology? This is one of those areas, and you feel it lumping up. That's a sure sign kidneys aren't filtering when you feel that lump back there and all that pain to that hip running down those legs there. That's your lymph, that's your kidneys. Kick it up, do some fasting there, Lyndon, and see what you can get going. See if you can move that more, break that loose. Get those kidneys loose. Check for that sediment in that urine. Been trying to deal with pain. I woke up at 1 in the morning. I feel sorry. This is a common place for people to have that pain, and you'll feel that lump that builds up there. Maybe you can have someone kind of work that lump out, but do it clockwise. But still keep working up this, and you can work those points up your spine from your coccyx and work up on each side of the spine there in those areas, and just work them up. In those areas and just work them up. If you have to take something while you keep working on this, 3 years to the doctor and they found nothing, that's because it's a lymph. That's a common area to have a lot of pain. That's a neural lymph area. These are all neural lymphatic points, and so you just keep working that. Keep working on the kidney formulas. Use 2 kidney formulas. Do lymphatic 4 for a while, then hit lymphatic 3. Clean up the bowels. Might have to go on a little bit of a fast. Have someone work on your back a little bit and keep working this out of you. It'll come out, but I can't believe it's taking you so long to get that out. But sometimes it does some people, so don't freak out. I'm thinking this is a bad kidney problem. You're right. This is a kidney not filtering on that side of the body, and you just got to keep working that kidney back to a state of health, and then you will, and then you'll get it. That'll be able to dump, and that'll come right out, and that pain will go away. I had another lady in here. She's actually an artist doing some artwork at my house, and she had that same thing. But one day on the kidney and lymphatics, and she's 3/4 of it's gone. Obviously, you're very chronic in that area. Yeah, I'm wanting to do a 40-day grape. I would suggest that if you can. I need that too. I need to go on a 40-day grape fast myself. I will. I'm working it. Miss Rankin, good work, man. Look at your blood pressure, 60/40. Now you're up to 111/64, right, and 106/61. So you see that left side of your body, sweethearts, where that weakness probably is. Your diastolics are perfect. Systolic, you can keep getting that up. Once you hit, 115, 118, you're probably feeling a lot better energetically now anyway, because you were really insanely low. I mean, that's insane. Kelly was talking about these low blood pressures and how blood pools in her feet. Well, hello. When you have blood pressure real low, you don't have enough pressure to move blood around your body. I mean, some people have to grab this or suffer. I don't know what to say. Double rainbow happy. Woohoo! Me too. Hey, Dano. I was watching this nature show on lions. I saw that same show. I've talked about that in other videos where she got bit by a cobra and laid there for almost a week and then got up, shrugged it off, and walked away. I think that's fantastic. It shows you the power the body has to heal itself. And she was dry fasting. So interesting, how that is. But then she probably had to do catch up with some hydration and stuff, but still. Just shows you the power of the healing within. That's why we say let the body heal itself. You're just going to give it the foods. I mean, we're experts in health, and that's all there is to it. And that's what this world needs. They don't need experts in pharmacology. They don't need experts in allopathy. This is the best of the best. Is still a bad thing. I hate to even go there. It's time for a higher level of healing, and you guys are right in the middle of it. Let's see, I read a lot of books on fasting and healing. Big fan of Arnold Ehret's, good man. When I picked up your book, I felt so relieved, excited, because thanks, man, I appreciate it. I thank you, man. I really do. I mean, there's no question I'm a little out of shape. There's no question. It's just appreciate you not judging me too hard. It's just been a hell of a ride, and keeping your spiritual center in so much corruption because you want to make a difference. And when you see the suffering and you're traveling, I mean, it's just there's so many things impact your ability to stay raw. Some of you will be experiencing that. It's funny. Soon I see when someone judges something, pretty soon God gives them an experience to show why they can't judge. You just can't. It's just the way it is. We support each other. We get each other going, and that's the way it has to be. I'm not young like Dano. I really love your idea of hospitals. Absolutely, man. I tell you what, we haven't heard from this Disney fella, so obviously he was a scam or something, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know. But I've always wanted naturopathic hospitals. And I hate to use the word hospital, but even an ER, a naturopathic ER would be cool as all get out. You're going to have all your good stuff, but you're going to have some really good stuff. I've seen so many ways we could help a hospital be so much more and not kill so many people. There's no question. And just open it up as fasting and healing centers. Then you don't have to wheel people out in wheelchairs. Let them run out of the hospital. But it's there, that belongs to the allopathic consciousness, and so we have to create our own consciousness, because you can't go change something where this is such a constipated consciousness. It's growing. A lot of good medical doctors out there are very sincere in trying to help people. No question about it. Hard to let go of intellectualism on their part. I've noticed that, but it's okay, you know. So it's just opening up to some of these higher levels. The problem is we are hanging on to our education, thinking that this is truth in a bag, and it just isn't. It's some professor's concepts of what he was reading and taught. Very few people are true. What's the word I want? Goes out and becomes the conqueror themselves. Very true people are the goes out and defies all knowledge and gets into the new understandings and the new development. I can't think of the name. Can you please explain why I experienced such a bad taste in my mouth after eating fruits or drinking green smoothies? I also have a bad breath afterwards. If I eat something different, like bread, for example, it gets better. Well, that's a good question. And that's Presen, present. Well, because these foods detoxify you. You notice how your tongue turns different colors when you start fasting. That's because the body starts eliminating. And you see how your tongue gets, that's how your bowel wall gets. This stuff comes right out of your bowel wall. I'd like to see the ladies' black stools that had the black tongues. Holy moly. But anyway, it shows you how toxic you are, though. No offense here, but you really want to work on your GI tract and that also shows you the suppressive actions of eating grains and proteins and things like this. They actually are not detoxifiers. And so they're not meant to be. So when eating them doesn't allow the body to detoxify. When you eat fruits, you're going to start getting a cleansing. They're very powerful. Most of you see the power of a fruit over a vegetable. I've heard your comments. Been my experience too. When you're up on these higher fruitarian levels for a while, you just can't eat. You can't eat solids anymore. You just can't eat vegetables anymore. You don't even want them. When you're working yourself back down from those higher levels a little bit, yeah, you start working yourself into them. Takes a little while. It depends. The longer you've been up at these higher levels, body doesn't like to go back. But it's life in the fast lane. My mom had her thyroid chopped up, and she takes that Synthroid garbage. That's just so. Very hard to convince the 50s generation to change. Now, wait a minute. I'm 50s generation. In the 50s generation, I was open and like all of you guys. And I'm looking at my parents, and particularly my grandparents, as raised predominantly by my grandparents. God, constipated thinking, old thinking, And in the 50s and 60s, especially when the Beatles came out, Presley kind of broke the consciousness a little bit. If you go back, remember that? Even Ed Sullivan didn't want him shaking his hips. That's pretty close consciousness. If you go back and look, that's and then the Beatles came out, you had a little more revolution in consciousness, and then it's just picked up. Rock and roll really broke open those old solidified thought forms of the early, the 1900s and of the Lawrence Welk eras and stuff like that. I had to sit and listen to Lawrence Welk with my grandparents, craving my guitar in the basement and something of a higher order. But it's just a type of music, But it shows the changing of consciousness here and the growth of that. But I'm amazed. And when I saw George Bush and some of these Clinton, some of these younger presidents, I thought it'd be all the difference in the world. Obama, man, what a difference. We're going to kick butt. We're going to get our Constitution back. We're going to get our rights back. What a failure. What a failure. What a loser. And this is the problem. They've all been that way. Now, whether they are controlled by the Illuminati and stuff, okay, but you put me in there, these guys aren't going to control me. I'm going to go after them. This is the problem. Someone needs to get in there, like Ron Paul, because I just think he's too old. I don't think he's got the power. I'd throw his son in there, though. And let's open up some doors. Let's let the sun shine in and get everybody. you know what? She's got to try to. Your mom, maybe your mom will get excited just so, and maybe try to grow this thyroid back. If they took it completely out, I don't know if she can or not, but I know. The problem is it's too late. Now I say that, and it's not because we know some secrets that the rest of the world don't, right? But as the mainstay, once you chop some stuff out, it's too late. You're done. It's over. Some of the stuff I've seen, it's like some of these radical surgeries, like relocating a man's stomach to and putting it up in his right shoulder because it had cancer in it. What? I mean, oh my God. Life Rejuvenator. Ha-ha! I got it. I hope your glaucoma is getting better, because it will. Get your sinuses. Use neti pots. Use 3-lung tea. Get yourself draining. Ear candle those ears, my friend, about 3 per each ear. Really work on those bowels. Keep pulling on that lymph. Get aggressive on that, and this pressure will come right out of you. You're going to get these acids out of you. Any damage to your vision, to sight, can be repaired. You can really, there's so many great ways to get up in there and repair that. I would still use the eye wash topically and internally to help reduce some pressure. Ear candles to reduce pressure. Get my lymph moving. Hot and cold shower on the back, really to massage that lymph down the back. Get those kidneys moving. You can even work on those neurolymphatic points to the kidneys. Work up and down your back. Get everybody moving. Life Rejuvenator, and you'll be the rejuvenator. Good man. For depression, you mentioned to work on the adrenals and parathyroid. Parathyroid for depression, adrenals for anxiety. 2 different symptoms, 2 different syndromes. Depression, sense of lack of self-worth, things like this. That's one of Kelly's things. She's lost in some things there. So she has to get her strength back. Or, keep following that same ridiculous road. What formula do you need for the parathyroid? Calma Plus, C-A-L-M-A Plus. There are thyroid, parathyroid mixtures. Hard to find. You might Google and see if you can find just parathyroid tissue. Most labs got biochemists involved, so they add all this stuff. Quit adding all this stuff. But I try to get the simplest I can, but it isn't always easy out there. You don't know which companies to trust, and I've got to be able to trust my companies, because if I can't, then I let you down, and I just don't want to do that. So, why Fabu? Go! Yeah. Call them in here if you need to for the parathyroid. And now, about education, I looked up Dewey, the evil father of American education. I love this. I love this. This was good, D. Skip. He vowed to enslave the masses into Marxism. Oh, my God. Oh. I got that, what is it, Jekyll Island or something? I mean... he vowed to enslave the masses into Marxism. Oh, my God. Oh. I got that, what is it, Jekyll Island or something? I mean, if you really knew what half of these people were really about, you'd freak out. If you read the... what is it? The Communist Manifesto. I've got that too. It's real scary. But, I mean, this is the human consciousness is barely birthed. Oh, so you higher souls coming in here, I have talked to several souls that have never been to this planet, or even the physical world. There's a lot of souls on a lot of levels out there, guys. But they don't always have to come down to this lowest level. What a trip. What a trip. And I tell you, I love that D-skip. And, uh, good thing you looked that up. Love the internet. I don't use it because I just can't have any more radiation on me. I'm working my way back out of this, but I just love that. It's just so true. When you just think things are so pure and nice here, it's like quite optimistic. Good morning, always in the now. Oh, I love that picture. Always love that with your thing. Blood pressure. My blood pressure was 108/67 before taking your herbs. After a couple of months, the herbs, it's 122/75. Good. So my adrenals are working better. Yippee. But you said textbook. Well, 75, that's okay. That's your kidneys. Yeah, it could just been that one moment. But the fact that and it could have popped up that diastolic or that systolic a little bit because your diastolic was up. It just could have been the day. Keep checking it in a relaxed manner and see. But you'll keep getting your adrenals up. So my adrenals are working better. But you said, okay, I remember correctly, so it doesn't mean for kidneys. Yep, you're right. You guys are getting it. Just imagine when you guys are really working as practitioners, people are going to want to come to you because you have knowledge that no one else does. I love it. Expect the bottom number to get lower. No, you're 60 to 70. And there's days you're going to have up and down days. Like if you did your basal temperatures under your arms and you did them every day, every once in a while you're going to see a dump. It's going to get down in the 96s. We take dumps some days, It's just the cycles of life and all the impaction of consciousness and the mind and the emotions and just everything involved. It's just tremendous amount of when you look at an individual, there's so much to a physical human individual, not just their physical bodies. And there's just so much going on at all levels. Who knows? You don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. You're doing fine. I do see sediment in my urine, but not all the time. Yeah, it's okay. You're working it. You're working it, sweetheart. You keep working it. Keep working it. Keep going now. Much love from New Zealand. I love New Zealand. I would love to move to New Zealand. I heard they have good banks. But I'd be going way north. That's how I would get way south, because I got to have warm weather. I just can't stand cold weather. I just can't do it. The bees are pollinating all the flowers on the berry bushes. All right. Now, someone sent me some pictures of the sweet little girl. Just sweet. Look at sucking down these juices. Beautiful picture. Can you see this picture at all of this beautiful little girl sucking down green drinks and fruit juices? I'm telling you, the kids love this stuff, making them healthy, making them smart, keeping their bodies healthy. Don't you just love it? Nothing like healthy kids. Because there's nothing any worse than having to take your kid to a medical doctor. I was in St. Joe's for a lot of years, and that's where I was working nuclear medicine, and really, really tore me up, man. I didn't realize all of the, and in cardiopulmonary, the monitors, all the stuff just really coming down on you. But a lot of women used to bring their babies in with a 99-degree temperature, 100-degree temperature. They've been feeding them crap, and then they give them a little Tylenol and antibiotic and send them home. Break the fever. It's like, oh my God. I used to say, take your child home, put them on fruit juices, and no matter what the fever does, detox them, cool them down to 103, and go on with your life and quit giving your kids milky products. I started eating vegan now, and over a year ago, I'm 9% raw. Yay, yay, yay. Chocolate craving. I think I read this to the point. I am 20-month-old daughter that when she looks up. Yeah, I did comment. This is your daughter that does that? Just so cute. You do not stop going after her health. Is that you beside her there? But you just keep going after her upper circ, brain, and nerve, even at this age. And maybe lymphatic 1, kidney number 1, adrenal gland, just a few drops. She looks like she could probably tolerate 4 drops, easy, 5 drops of each one. But really go after that way. Pump these juices. You're kicking butt, Mom. Lissa, you're kicking butt, sweetheart. Beautiful, beautiful little girl. Save her from this monster machine out there. Feel sorry for the little girl that's got, maybe it's a girl that's got the brain tumor. You can get it out of her, but had a lot of young girls with brain tumors. C. Stahl, poor thing. I mean, C. Stahl's put up with a lot of stuff. I understand that, but sometimes you get a little out of balance. But still, C. Stahl has been through hell with her kids, and so she's been doing a good job on her kids too. We all just got to get along, quit slandering each other, and just love each other. And if you don't agree with something, okay, I can't help that. I always have a reason for why I say something and what I've seen, because I quit reading other people's crap years ago. I want to see reality. I want what's it doing to them. I want to see what's going on here. I got to be able to put it all together. I have to understand it. It has to have truth hooked to it. It has to have chemistry hooked to it, physics hooked to it, spirituality hooked to it. It's got to all fit in a package for me to accept it. And when there's too many opinions out there, it's not worth even hankering over. It's not worth even dealing with, because you're wasting your time. And some of us don't have any time to sit there and waste. Idle chat isn't something I'm really engaged in, to tell you the truth. I live alone pretty much with Brenda, and we're kind of recluses. Just that we're dealing with so much of this, we have to have time where there's nothing but plants around. And then our plants come up to us, and the flowers are talking to me and say, "We'll make you feel better." I've had an injury to my feet 9 months long now, which has been healing very slowly. Well, I think I talked about this in injuries, these last few videos, about if you're not moving your lymph well. Remember, that's the street sweepers, that's the cleaners, even from trauma and injury. So when your lymph isn't moving well, your trauma is going to be slow to heal. This is all, and Arnold Ehret talked a lot about that, the difference in the healing, and I thought this was very interesting. Proved it to myself. Someone else made a comment on this, the accelerated ability to heal on fruit over that of even vegetables. There's a good one for you. Well, if vegetables are so good, why, if as a fruitarian I could cut myself and heal in a couple of days, totally gone, and then vegetable eating is going to take me at least 2, 3, 4 days longer. Meat eating is going to take me a week and a half easy. Pussy painful too. I love that experiment he did, and you can prove it on yourself if you get way up there. Pretty neat stuff. It's made me housebound most of the year. Discovering this guy just yesterday has motivated me to, good, go for it then. I think I may have an issue with my lymph. You're exactly right. Injury to get caused edema. Yeah, it's all your kidneys. German I Celt. Anyway, yeah, move thy lymph. Get your kidneys filtering. Get your adrenals up, and that'll start accelerating. You might check your parathyroid gland, make sure, or even take a short-term pop on that parathyroid with a glandular. It'll accelerate the healing. You could use the Bones formula. I'd use the capsuled Bones formula. Very, very powerful healing. Comfrey, horsetail, all these are great healing herbs. Golden seal, just all great healing herbs. This is from Kevin. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while, guy. Hi, Dr. Morse. A couple of years ago, with my symptoms really went into overdrive, and the lymph swelling in my chest and abdomen went crazy. My shin bones went from feeling smooth and round to really sharp, like there's bone missing from the inside of the shin bone for most of the length of the bone. Ugh. Around the same time, my ankles hurt pretty bad for months and cracked a lot. A lot, and I had lymphedema in both lower legs from a few months ago. My shins still have the sharp edge to them, and my ankles still crack, but not as bad as they used to. I've had my blood calcium levels checked a couple of times back then, and they said it was okay. Well, first of all, don't even consider blood calcium levels in osteoporosis or anything like that. That would be a grave mistake. That has nothing to do with it. Your blood must maintain a certain ratio of chemistry to keep it 7.4 or so you can't judge that. But you're really seeing what's going on here. This is lymphedema. This is a kidney failing to filter well, and I mean really fail to filter well. This acidosis is literally sucking the calcium out of your bones. This is a big problem. So you want to get those kidneys filtering, look for the sediment. You want to get your adrenals up and really start moving lymph. I clean my bowels up too while I'm doing that, and this will pull out of there. And how you doing, Indiana Banana, with your legs? Here's a guy walking your way right here. Do you think my body probably took calcium out? Oh, I definitely do. Absolutely, man. Also, what happened? Good. So you guys are getting this. Love you guys. Also, what happens to the calcium it took out? Good question. Well, when calcium is in an acidic medium, it ionizes, notice, and becomes a rock. So what can happen with you is you start getting bone spurs along that bone, really rocky, bumpy road, and then bone spurs, the clicking in the heels, bone spurs, and you'll start getting bone spurs. And it's just coming from the bone matrix itself. It's just one of the negative aspects of acidosis, absolutely. Also, what happens to the calcium it took out of the bone? Does it calcify in tissues and lymph nodes? Let's hope not, but it does in tissue. It becomes a rock. In solution, it's a base chemistry. In an acid solution, think of bone matrix. I've heard about patients having calcified lymph nodes. It's possible. That's just extreme stagnation of the lymph, and even in the nodes. I've seen iris pictures where they've had lymph nodes swollen all their lives. Well, when you're retaining acids in the lymph nodes and you don't have the fresh pond water flowing through and cleaning, as well as a new breath of work, yeah, you're going to calcify. You're even going to cancer a lymph node. Do you think I can get rid of any possible calcium? Yeah, absolutely, and replace the missing calcium back into the bones. What do you mean by check your parathyroid? I wouldn't even check it. I'd probably use a Calma Plus, that formula, for about a month or two. Probably start out with one capsule twice a day for, let's say, a couple of weeks, and then go to 2 twice a day. You've got to move lymph, or you're not going to be successful. So you really got to get the lymph system. Focus on the kidneys, focus on the adrenal glands, focus on the lymphatic system, and clean up my bowels doing it. And all of that will start pulling all that out of there, and then the healing can take place. You're not going to be successful. So you really got to get the lymph system. Focus on the kidneys, focus on the adrenal glands, focus on the lymphatic system, and clean up my bowels doing it. And all of that will start pulling all that out of there, and then the healing can take place. So I definitely would be doing that. Until you get the acids out, it's hard to rebuild tissue. Remember, it's hard to rebuild tissue in an acid medium. That's what's corrosive and breaking it down. So you have to obviously remove the acid medium. It might be too simple for people to understand, but you guys get it well. I had to eat a can of cooked beef stew and stop the formulas for a while because I'm getting too much pain. I was taking adrenals, kidney 1, bowel 1 caps, lymphatic 1, parasite and pain and moonshine yarrow for about a week. You had too much pain with that, huh? That's probably your diet, though. Probably not the herbs causing the pain. Now, sometimes when you're moving lymph out, those acids come out. Yeah, there can be pain with that, but it also could be even acid fruits like pineapples and stuff, or even your cruciferouses can cause pain a little bit. So yeah, you try to go more subacid fruits, but really go on a grape fast or something. Lymph node 1 tincture is too much because my urine is still clear. There you go. There you go. Although I only just got started on this hardcore since October. All right, I do 2 kidney formulas. I do lymphatic 1 capsules to clean up the bowels, and then I would do lymphatic 4. When you use these up, and then go to 2 kidney formulas, do lymphatic 4 for about a month or so, and then jump to lymphatic 3, and then keep going that lymphatic 1 capsules. Stay with the stomach and bowel 1. That's real healing and cleansing and soothing. Everything else is good here. There wouldn't be the herbs that I would know that would cause pain unless it's a detox. It might be in your diet where the pain is coming from. But boy, I wouldn't keep going down the beef stew world. I used to love beef stew growing up. Lemonade. Lemonade, I'm really happy with you. Oh yeah, to all of you. About the Hilo tea, yesterday I douched with it, did it. You guys are something else. I love your minds. That is what I love. A woman that tears it apart. Man. Oh, my kind of woman. JG, all you guys are so good. Yeah, neuropathy, all that'll go away. Just get these acids out so the body can rebuild itself. That's all you got to do. I just read that an actor such from the movie Porky's took his own life due to his cancer treatment. Such a shame. Oh, man, butterfly. I tell you what, isn't it sad? It's sad when you think there's no other door for you and you have to walk up to a slaughterhouse of raging acid chemistry. That's why I think the value of you guys, the value of me, the value of these channels, the value of this level of knowledge, because I don't know, for me it's a slaughterhouse. Some young man had to take his life because the chemo probably ravished him. Makes you want to puke. And of course it's going to suck major calcium out of you. Let me tell you, chemo sucks major calcium out of you. If she was running a parathyroid weakness and already had calcium utilization problems, he could have went into a major depression from that. But we don't want to consider these things. Now, what's funny about that, if a smart oncologist sees let's say a lady with extreme varicose veins, spider veins, and he knows that she has a calcium utilization problem. There's not many of these guys, but there have been some. I've heard them. Then they will tell them they can't give them chemo. And you know why? Because they're for sure heading down aneurysm alley. And that's the fear, is getting an aneurysm from chemo. Well, why? Well, because it sucked calcium out of you. Well, why would you use something that's deadlier than what caused the problem in the first place to try to treat or find a remedy for that which caused it in the first place? I don't know. I must have went to the wrong planet, wrong school. Fruit fairy. I love the herbs too. Oh, I'm glad you like the herbs. I love herbs. And you guys that are making them and playing with them, bravo, bravo. Portions from random flowers and leaves is a small chunk. So did I. I ate dandelion flowers, daisy flowers, sassafras leaves, sassafras roots, and tea. I love. Oh, wait a minute! I can't have sassafras. It cleans the blood and everything, but it's toxic to you. Huh? How many mountain people would have been dead drinking sassafras tea? Love the taste. And then people drink a lot of root beer, right? Now my kids are doing the same thing. Oh, good. Only they actually know what they're doing. You know what? It sounds like you got some good kids here. I mean, my youngest son, I couldn't get him outside. My eldest son made a really nice St. John's wort infusion oil when he was 5. Look at the knowledge these kids are getting. When they grow up, they're going to be the healers, because obviously the mom is learning the deeper aspects of healing here. And so these kids are going to take off and be the healers of the future. Bravo! It's very simple. They just get it. I love that. Good job there, Fruit Fairy. Good. And I love that picture. Moth Dust Moon. Hi, honey. Interesting name. Female hormone acne. That's just because it's acidic. That's all, because estrogen's acidic. And whenever you add acids to acids, it kicks up the symptom. That's why I say when you have pain, you got to be careful with the acid fruits and things, because there are acid components to things. And sometimes it kicks up the pain and everything. Keep my name anonymous. I would really appreciate it. I'm really sort of embarrassed about these problems. Well, I don't know your real name. You already have your icon here or whatever, so I'm not going to. Is the protocol for healing female hormonal acne different than regular acne? Not at all. Not at all. But you want to take the endocrine gland formula maybe and balance out your hormones a little bit. If you're really raging, you're looking at either pituitary or adrenals. If your ovarian estrogen is out of balance, then it's pituitary. If you feel systemically out of balance, it's probably more your estrogen in your ovaries. Vaginal dryness is a good example of adrenal estrogen problems. Women that have had hysterectomies that had too much estrogen at one time from the pituitary and the adrenal and the ovaries now can have low estrogen levels because of weak adrenal glands, and therefore they end up with vaginal dryness. So the adrenals are very important for systemic estrogen, as well as a healthy liver. Fat cells produce a form of estrogen. So it's important to get the adrenal glands healthy, because ovarian estrogen, as far as I know, is purely for the uterus. Ovarian estrogen and progesterone, or uterine estrogen and progesterone, not systemic. Even the vaginal area links over to the adrenal glands. So you would want to get that healthy. It shows your lymph system, sweetheart. Is backed up there, and that shows kidneys, of course, and then of course you're going to see the adrenals, and you're going to see this same thing over and over and over. And you guys that are working as being healers, it's going to be next. It's just how, it's like a New York City detective one day told me, and here we were talking about it, and his life in New York and the murders and stuff, and he said, well, after a while you just get used to that. And he said, really, you just wonder how they did it each time. You know, each murder you go to, it's just, how did they do this one? And basically I can see that dealing in so much of this death. But this is also true with health. It's like, yeah, we know you have kidney adrenals. How bad? That's about what it is when you're below 60. And a ton of 60 and 70-year-olds with kidney problems, no question. You could use the female reproductive formula. That would be a good idea. And is it a longer process to correct when the hormones are involved? Well, I mean, you just have to bring the hormones into balance, and you can only do that by making the glands healthy that produce the hormones and steroids, and let your body find that homeostasis. You can't find it. Your medical doctor can't find it. I can't find it. I can only be responsible for making tissue healthy and letting your tissues, your endocrine glands, work for your body and your emotional and mental needs. And that's why it's so simple but vital that we change our focus from symptomology to health, where we're going right in and we understand symptomology in relationship to where the problem is. That way we can use herbs to help accelerate the healing or the rebuilding of that area. But not to use symptomology to treat, because it doesn't work. It's killing too many people, and it makes naturopaths look stupid. Especially those that are using supplements. Let's step up higher, all of us. I've been checked for PCOS and have no cysts. They come and go with people. I mean, on my ovaries, I saw an herbal doctor who said my PCOS-like symptoms, acne mild, probably came from my adrenals. I'm tired. Well, he was smart. Absolutely, probably did. But the acne is coming not from estrogen. It doesn't create acne. Hormones don't create acne. That's ridiculous. They exacerbate the lymph. They exacerbate movements like fruits. You eat fruits and whoa, suddenly everything's moving. That's like a steroid. Suddenly you start seeing things happening. And then we blame the hormone or steroid. We blame the fruit. When in reality it's your lymph system that's the problem. And you're not filtering through your kidneys, darling. So you've got to get your kidneys and adrenals back online. He tried to scare me into eating proteins. An herbalist? Whew, don't buy into any of that crap. If I went back onto hormone birth control, in the future. I currently don't use it. Would I just undo all the work? No. No, the problem is this person, I mean, you're real young, honey. I really like to come up with some herbal birth control. I mean, I'm listening and following some of you guys talking about different things. I read about different things. That I'd like to come up with a nice herbal birth control that doesn't hurt anybody, any tissue, doesn't sacrifice the hormones and steroids by taking them. Should I wait until I can decide definitely not to ever use? No, make your stuff healthy now. Don't wait. Don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Go now. You're in the mood now. You got the focus now. Go, sweetheart. Make your body healthy. And you especially want to when you're taking birth control. Thanks so much for your teaching. I love you too, sweetheart. Well, you'll be good, sweetheart. Don't be embarrassed. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Everybody has problems here. And we're healers here. Our channel's a group of healers. We need to be straight and not hide anything from people. People need to know that, you know, you're going to talk about your problems. We need to work them out. We need to help you with them. You need to help others with theirs, and nothing to be ashamed of. We're a race of people that went way off on their dietary habits, and literally, and then, of course, all the radical chemistry. Now we're in some big-time troubles. This is from Bo. Are you the one that won American Idol? Well, you didn't win, but you were still up there. That Bo was still up there. It's pretty good. Hello from Sweden. Hello, Sweden again. I have a question. I'm coming off from Ambien after being years on it, and I'm having a horrible time with withdrawal. Well, go slow, detox. The nice thing about detoxification, it starts cleaning these residues, these chemical residues out from smoking, even from the weed, from all kinds of pharmaceutical drugs, any drugs. It really is the best way to move yourself off. When you're titrating down off of something or slowly coming down off of something, if you detoxify with it, you'll be able to come down faster without the withdrawals there. Being raw for 3 months and taking your herbs does not help me sleep so far. Well, you might want to get the pineal glandular for the pineal gland, or you could, don't use melatonin, you could use different herbs like being raw for 3 months and taking your herbs does not help me sleep so far. Well, you might want to get the pineal glandular for the pineal gland, or you could, don't use melatonin, you could use different herbs like California poppy, valerian, something like that to make you relax at night and stuff. Might help. If it's coming up here, though, in the pineal gland, really got to get yourself detoxified here. Really work in the colon, the kidneys, the adrenals, move on your lymph, get your head detoxified. There's a lot of people are having extreme problems. As you see, Kelly's one of them. It's all just in here. It's all in her head. Literally so. So you know, you might have to think about doing something like that while you're rebuilding. That's why I like the glandulars. They help you while you're rebuilding things. Don't have to live on them forever. Any herb or herbal mix I can take that is strong enough for insomnia. Again, yeah, your valerians, poppies, stuff like that. Taking some pineal glandular will help you. I am beyond exhausted mentally and physically at this point. Yeah, Bo, listen, man, just have to relax. Is this a woman? Just relax, sweetheart. Get your body detoxed. Get this lymph detoxed. Like I said, use a glandular. Use maybe some valerian stuff to help in that way, and see how this works for you, because it can be quite disturbing. I'm very aware of your problem, so hang in there, sweetheart. You'll get it. Willie Swear, I got your herbs today, and they smell really good. Good. Other herbs I bought smell like they were peeled off the bottom of a 95-year-old man's foot. Oh, you're funny. That was funny. I have to admit that was funny. Yeah, these herbs are just a little strong, but would you want to waste your money on something like that smelled like the bottom of a 95-year-old foot? Oh, yeah. I don't think so. I tell you what. Let's see here. Of how we're getting into the New World Order and reptilian races. This person has asked me not to be scared about talking about the reptilians and the races, Eric, because people need to know it. Yeah, I don't want people to feel like there's so many levels out there. It's sometimes I'm going to start doing videos maybe when we talk about these reptilians and we talk about what's going on here, that I have a warning first, and we kind of just talk about that in the video, because I understand that some Christians probably get irritated at some bizarre stuff, but we do have to open up our consciousness and realize God is a lot bigger than we put it to be. So we have literally dimensions within dimensions within dimensions. Good example, now they have the nano levels that the naked eye could never see. We already use electron microscopes to see some microbes. So we have to realize that there is activity and creatures, beings, whatever you wish to call them, at every level, in every dimension, and we have to open up to the vastness of the Supreme Being. I think sometimes in Christianity we have an image of a heaven up here and a hell down there, and that's it. We're stuck in between. Oh, couldn't be further from the truth. So that's part of the problem in growing, you know. So I want this channel in the health side to be open for everyone, no one to get offense about some of these things, because there's many things I've had firsthand experience with, and there's many things I have not. And I will certainly let you know when I have not had experiences, but I have had experience with the reptilian race. And if you'll use, you know, you can always play with subliminal work. If you'll learn how to work with the way you detach yourself when you view something. Good example, go into one of these cosmetic places where they have a woman maybe in a bikini and there's these fine cosmetics. If you'll step back, you ever see those pictures on a wall where they have all the dots, and if you just detach from staring right at it, detach, you'll start to see the design within the design within the design. You can also see that in different ads, especially with whiskey or alcohol, and you see a woman and some men or whatever. Look at the ice and the shape of the ice. A lot of times they're just a bunch of naked people put together. They look like ice cubes, but subconsciously you can see the naked people together. I mean, there's so much subliminal advertising out there. I've seen it in cosmetic departments where there was sex written all over the ladies. I mean, we use subliminal advertising and have. So there's some of you probably very familiar with this. I used to play with that to develop the ability to see that, because that's just like seeing auras or anything else. You have to detach yourself away from it and your own mind and things, and you'll see what's been going on out there. It's just every level is amazing. So we have to be open to things. Protect yourself by being strong within yourself. Don't open your doors to everybody. You know, keep your room you, but always love and be open to all things and give that love. But don't always let everybody come in and sit in your living room, if you know what I mean. The Bella, I know you don't, you won't, but please don't ever stop. Oh yeah, I was just talking about this. Okay, this channel, good health is linked with it. Spiritually, I think good health is linked with spirituality. I don't think it. I mean, it's obvious. I can't really separate spirituality from non-spirituality in a sense. I mean, I like to, like everyone else, because it's like you're not being spiritual today or you're being spiritual today. That's kind of fun to play with, but in reality, it's just different levels of awareness, different levels of awareness, different levels of consciousness, or I'll say the ability to be aware or not. It's nothing to learn. It doesn't have anything to do with knowledge. Knowledge has nothing to do with consciousness. And we read books. What happened to my water? Drew, did you take? You guys are fun. I tell you, you guys are fun. Fruit fairy, this is divine side. Yeah, I like to know what you're doing. But thank you for this comment about, let's see, question 61, part 2. I don't know what I said in there, but thank you, sweetheart. I love you. Beautiful daughter. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Drew rocks. Smitten. Drew rocks. Funny, isn't he? He's a good guy. I think you're going to find most everybody here is a great heart, and we're really trying. We've been doing this a lot of years. Yeah, I lost my voice during my first round on your herbs, but I called your clinic and they were able to suggest some teas. Good, good, good. Help soothe the throat. I started to come back the next day. Yeah, oh, thanks. You're welcome, Harlem there. Yeah, I mean, when you detoxify, you could completely lose your voice. You know, I mean, everything's up for grabs, man. The body detoxifies itself, your lungs. Sometimes they're scary, but you know what? Your body's not going to kill itself. And there's a lot of techniques. And as we go along here, I'll try to give you some techniques when I have cases and little things we can use. Learn a lot about your kitchen spices because you can always use them when someone calls you and they're in a stat need or an emergency need. You can always get cayenne pepper, you can get cinnamon, you can get turmeric. I mean, there's a lot of things that people have in their kitchens you can get to use as an aid to help a healing crisis. Your oils, your olive oils or castor oils, whatever they have. That's why I say in your medicine cabinet, so to speak, bleeding is a good formula to have if you're bleeding internally or you think you are. Antispasmodic for cramping or anything like that, pain. A few things like that's good to have. Definitely lymphatic and kidneys for snake bites. Parasite M for any weird snake or spider bites or mosquito bites, anything like that. But always move on lymph. The lymph determines. And so snake bites or any real poisonous spider bites like recluse, black widows, definitely want the lymphatics. Suck them down. And the kidneys with it. Good work. Good work. Harlem. Doc. The diatomaceous. I always get tongue twisted on this diatomaceous earth. I always get tongue twisted on that for some reason. Guess I was raised around too many cattle, hogs, and horses. It's just Indiana, the school I went to. Terrible speller. Bowel cleanser rather than a nutritive supplement. Yeah, I got you what you were thinking. Yeah, I got you. I hadn't looked into that much, to be honest with you. I try to stay away from the things that are most inorganic. Now, I do. I'm guilty of using the clays and the charcoals. I am. So some of that's probably good, you know. I saw a compound with it in it the other day for the bowels. I thought, well, that'll work pretty good, you know. But we're not trying to scrape the bowel clean. We're trying to bring alkaline chemistry in there, some astringents in there, you know, some healing powers in there to heal up the bowel wall. But remember, we're trying to also reach through the external wall into where all the cells are. That's really what we really want to do. But we also need to get the kidneys because the bowels are just a bunch of cells and two fluids like everywhere else. So thanks for the comments and thanks for educating me up, guys. Sometimes we all get settled in with our focuses, but if you see the way I do things, I just can't keep adding more things to the plate. Like even with Kelly last night, I have to make sure that I give you the most bang for the buck. I have to make sure that what money you have, that I put it right where you need it. Now, those people that don't have a financial problem, okay, but mostly we have the opposite. So what we have to do and what I'm geared to doing is, this is where I want your focus to be. If you want to add this, this, and this, okay, but this is where I need your focus to be. And then, because that's only prudent, it's only proper that you address the main issues. And then if you need to add something, you can do that. So I can't add essential oils, flower essences. I try that. Here is, I just remember I had this on my desk. This is Running Fox Farms here, Fox Mountain flower essences. They're really cool. This is Moonshine Yarrow. I get a lot of whacked out people in here, so I say, here, let me give you this. But great stuff, you know. I just love nature. You're just wrapping yourself around the mom. Hey, Dr. Morse, my name is Ryan, and I've been recently losing weight on a high water, vegetable, and fruit diet. I'm feeling great now. I have been trying to get my 48-year-old father, who now wants to get surgery on his newly grown nasal polyps. Oh, that'll be fun for him. To detox for 10 or more days. Hey, Dad, you're only 48, man. No, your son's kicking your butt. Get with it. Detox your sinuses, because it isn't just in your sinuses, bro. It's in your head and brain as well. That's the other thing. Just picking a couple of polyps and you can regrow them. You got to channel on the cause of this, and this again is the lymphatic system in the human body, which is the body sewer system. Comprises 3/4 of the body fluids, basically, or somewhere close, and it uses the kidneys as the channel. So this is a kidney, adrenal, fix up your bowels too. You want to, try to get your dad to get up his colon and really have a good cold and flu-like symptom. Drain those nasals, because cutting something out just makes more trauma, more inflammation, more problems, more scar tissue. Had a lot of people that have had some serious problems with these. So be careful. If you want to cut them out, it's up to you, but really detox, because they could grow back. You're not addressing the cause of this problem. You're addressing the symptom. He follows an old system, and it's not helping him. Well, 48-year-old, what about these young people that are still constipated in their consciousness? Where's that coming from? I like to think I'm pretty hip for 60. He follows an old system, and it's not helping him. Well, 48-year-old, what about these young people that are still constipated in their consciousness? Where's that coming from? I like to think I'm pretty hip for 60. 35. I am currently trying to help him, but he doesn't want. Well, there's nothing you can do, my friend. Even though you're his son, my parents wouldn't listen to me. So if he has to go through surgery, I don't know what to say. Don't know what, you'd prefer him not to. True Beauty. I like that name. For you. Yep, you sound like you're a beautiful soul, my dear. LSD window pane. Oh, yes, the level of consciousness there. Love that. One time I smoked something that I had the answer to all the problems, and when you came down, you forgot it all. I have to laugh at that one, because that's funny. I know right where that is. You know what? The beauty of life, the beauty of consciousness and the altered states of consciousness, we should enjoy that. That's why I like the movie Fringe. I love that. That actor, the old biochemist, of course, I'm going to like him. He needs to win an Emmy or whatever. This guy is one incredible actor. This guy is so good. I just love that Fringe. That is a good show. You know what, man? Well, when people get detoxed and get the pain out of them, they'll be happy and start working from joy. And maybe this whole world will turn 11/11. I feel it coming. Come on. Pomegranates, okay. Whoa, you got a lot of delicious pomegranates. Wonder Wise. What's that picture of, man? That looks pretty cool. Wonder Wise, I don't know. I'd say enjoy those pomegranates. That's what I'd say. I never did fasting on them. Never really had the occasion. Not really an eater of pomegranates. But I'll say tear into them and get back with me, my friend. Say we're having this trouble. I don't know why Kelly picked you out there. I hope that that's not how unbalanced she is, because I actually started to record one earlier that, we needed to talk to you. If the thing she told me you said, that's very slanderous. And so it's like, I don't know. That's just, we don't need to slander each other. It's, if you don't like what's being said, whoever, if I don't like what someone's saying, I'm going to turn them off, turn them out. I'm going to go somewhere else, But most of you guys are incredible. You keep it well. And sorry we're having this trouble, Wonderwise. I know you said you have I don't even know where. It's like, that's scary. And that's just all scary. I think we all need to work with love, compassion with each other. Need to change this world. We have to. And if we can't be it amongst ourselves on this channel, where can we be it at? Jackie Doe. The camera does not do Dr. Moore's justice. Thanks, honey. Yeah, the camera doesn't do me justice. Come forth and see me in person. Thanks, sweetheart. I appreciate that, Jackie Doe. Oh. Well, those of you who've been here seen we have a little hole in the wall down here. I've always enjoyed seeing all of you. Everyone that I've come here so far from the YouTube, beautiful souls, beautiful people, just gorgeous. And a shout out to the lady from not Denmark, Belgium. I have hypoglycemia and low blood pressure, not to mention MS. Hey, goes together, honey. And had no idea they were related to the adrenals. Yes, ma'am. And that's your autonomic nervous system too, sweetheart. You can have brain lesions or not, cerebellum involvement or not. That's your equilibrium, dizzy, stability. You can have all these things involved, definitely. You can have the package. See a lot of that. I first got sick, I would crave licorice. How interesting. Licorice is an immediate pop-up of the adrenals. It acts as natural cortisol, so it controls blood sugar. Look at that. This is it's interesting. A good comment there. Appreciate that. I am juicing now. I would like to know if my nerves can be regenerated. Don't have to ask, sweetheart. They sure are. That's why I will get more testimonies. I will. I just got to tie someone down here and let them agree to film them. Some people are a little shy to be filmed. But got some nice cases coming for you. And the reason I do that is to show you the power of nerve regeneration. Indiana Banana is about to show you his legs, I'm sure, and the power of what he's doing. So thanks, sweetheart. And you get your butt in a state of health there and don't go with this MS any further. Your hypoglycemia and low blood pressure needs to come up, as you've seen. This channel's fun, isn't it? Especially for those like yourself who thought there was nothing you could do. I hate that. And you see this in all these spinal cord associations. All these people in wheelchairs stuck in there thinking they can't get out. I hate that. Tom Karate. I am on only a fruit diet, and more small moles are appearing. Well, use the Parasite M, bro. Just stay on Parasite M for a while, and they'll start falling off. Now, someone else will go on fruit, and the moles will start falling off. But fruit sugar is an active sugar. There's no question about it. Glucose is too slow for you mainliners. Harlan. Let me see. I want to thank you. Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate your comment. I was wondering if you could break down exactly why soy does to the body. Well, you know what? It's a protein, first of all. One of the highest beans of phytic acid there is, which obviously leaches calcium out of the body. Of course, they all have enzyme inhibitors, which isn't good. There was a book written, The Soy Myth or something. I have her book here somewhere. She really gets into it and tears it apart, because I had a medical doctor fighting with me over the emails about how good soy was. And it's like, yuck. Even as a bean for cow, most farmers in my earlier years had nothing good to say about soy in this country. And then suddenly it is a health food. Well, that suddenly have to say is probably Monsanto. We got a bunch of crap beans. What do we do with them? Sell them to the health food people. They're gullible. They'll buy them. So, that's because I don't know of anything else. High phytic acid enzyme inhibitors. She mentioned a whole bunch of things, of course, in her book. Proteins and stuff I don't go for. Just an inferior bean, I think, totally. But, they praise it in China, and, but then it's processed. You've got or fermented, and then you've got your tofu and stuff like that. But did tofu ever have a good flavor unless you put miso or tahini or something on it? It's like meat. Meat is nasty unless you put something on it. I can't imagine anybody. My dog eats fairly good, I think, for a dog. So I do buy him top meat, but it's a little rare. And I almost threw up last night. I came real close because I fix his food for him, and try to get him to eat more vegetables, but he's a funny dog. I was so happy to see today so many videos loaded up. Oh, thanks, Julie. Jules. I tell you, we're trying. It's a long time. When Chris takes everything home, he can download them quicker for some reason. We're on satellite, but it's just a slow uptake on them. So we're working it. Sorry that you get so many together, but this is going to be a long one today here, too. But I just got to get caught up here because I have this much more, and I'm not even halfway through these today. So I'm hoping that I'm crossing here with a lot of information that will help you, help you. So if I don't get to you, at least I'm answering it through answering somebody else. Again, if something is so vital that you need the answer to, call here, and ask them. So, Julia, let me see here. How long one needs to be on your herbal formula before they can get their body to do its own lymph draining? Good question. I don't have an answer for that. Some sooner, some later. If you listen to some of the YouTubers, you can hear some getting drainage quicker and some others not. And I don't know. I don't know why, other than the degree of the kidney issues and the adrenal gland issues. That's my confined unit of awareness. Do understand the pituitary's up there and does have some influence, but at this point we need you guys to tear this apart and find out. But I do feel, especially colon issues along the head lymph issues. I have adrenal exhaustion, but I am an artist. And I have a lot of stress in my life and ate poorly under stress. I'm starting out with bowel cleanse and kidney and lymph formula smart. I talked to Brenda about what to start. Good. I wondered how long before kidney start. I just don't know. It's like lemonade. I've got sediment, but it took her. What did it take lemonade? Several months to get it. I will take Parasite M for 3 months. Good idea. Because you got to kind of, exactly. You guys are really getting this. Also, I love your take on all these spirits. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Less brain cannot disconcern truth from fiction without the faculty of the end. I love what you said there about this guy that won the Nobel Peace Prize. I even like this guy for proving that the left logic brain mind cannot disconcern truth from fiction without the faculty of the intuition. Aloha to you, my dear one. Absolutely. Soul, mind, when we learn all these different... What in religion should get upset? To learn that the mind is a separate part of creation, then the emotions is a separate part, and what's the big deal? I don't know why big deals are made out of nothing. NY. X. I feel alone as an... You're an oncology nurse, honey. I read this. As I was the only one who didn't really believe in what was going on in the department. I tried to say, that's because you got a good heart and you're a loving soul. That's why. Because you're more aware of yourself as a spiritual entity. That's why. Some people are so closed and locked and just walk and do it. See, if they had nobody that would distribute chemo, then no one would be able to get chemo, and they would have to give chemo themselves, and then they'd be the only ones going to jail. Just kidding, Lion Man. Come on. I'm having some fun. But I was always, and thank you. Hi, Lion Man. Thank you all. Steve, all you guys. I was always fearful of being struck off. Then I got the calcified ovarian cysts. Had the surgery and knew in my heart I couldn't go back. I'm so grateful. Oh, thanks, honey. Listen, I'm glad to see that you're a good oncology nurse. Become a holistic nurse and really take off and help people at this level of healing. And you will really turn a lot of poor cancer people that could have met their slaughterhouse. You'll turn them around and get them well. Life Rejuvenator. I had my polyps and tonsils removed when I was 3 years old. Well, that's why you're fighting the glaucoma, you know. You know, you were compromised your ability to drain lymph, and you weren't really draining it well then at 3. So you can see that this has been a lifetime for you. So don't freak out. Just keep plowing that field, keep digging that hole, and you're going to get there, my friend. I've never seen anybody not be able to get there. Glaucoma's never been a big deal. So I don't know. Regeneration of the nervous system a little bit, yes. And then the optic nerve and stuff, but you will. I am working on the pressure on my head and my glaucoma. Is this still possible? Life Rejuvenator? Shame on you. Grab your name and wear it on your chest. Don't ever let that mind sneak in and give you a fraction of a nanosecond of a doubt. Hello, Dr. Morse. This is DES 570. Could you do a video on obsessive compulsive disorder? I don't know what you mean. And if a lazy eye can be healed through raw foods. Lazy eye, have we? All right, so what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do? All right, we want to definitely get up into the nervous system, right? Well, which one? We've got 2. All right, so you know you're going to get into your adrenal glands because that's your emotions. That's gonna make you solid as a rock emotionally. So you want to bring up those adrenal glands. That's the autonomic. You want to drain the head, get up with some upper circ, brain and nerve, clean up the bowels, you know, to get the sinuses and everything cleaned out, and get up in brain and nerve and upper circulation and strengthen that the brain's nervous system, and that lazy eye won't be so lazy anymore. Get in your raw, get in your fruit fasting, you pump some greens if you want. If someone could help me out when Dr. Morse mentions lemon juice, what does he mean? Pure lemon juice? Ravenster. Ravester. Well, I've done the lemon juice fast in several different ways. Personally, I like just fresh squeezed lemonade with nothing in it. But some people find it quite tart, so they use, you know, like the maple syrup. I like that one too. I do use honey sometimes, but I got burnt out on honey really bad, so I'm not a real honey lover anymore. But you could use anything to me, like stevia, agave, or something. But if you wanted to put a little bit, the less of that stuff, the better. And you know, some people do use the pinch of cayenne pepper. I like that as well. So I like it different ways. You know, does it matter? No, not really. I mean, these are all real top-line fasts, so it's all good. You know, it's all good. Play with it. Fastest on pure lemonade, but very powerful fast. I like fasting on grapes first, working your body down the road a little bit, and then kick it up another notch. But it's up to you. Juice me melon. Hi. Thank you for your comment, my friend. Thank you much. The holy butt. 2 questions. Could we live to, say, 90 years and far beyond without the need to ever wear eyeglasses for anything? Well, of course. Plenty of people do it. I'm getting rid of mine, getting better. Number 2, could you, Dr. Morse, regenerate your own eyes? Huh? Me? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Radiation burns, but absolutely. And I'm working on it. Not as aggressive, obviously, as I could. I'm just so friggin' busy. I just, it's an excuse, but it's like, there's so many things. But I'm working it, I'm working it. And no need for wearing glasses. You focused on what that? I remember you mentioned that one day you could reverse your hair color. Oh, yeah. Just try that upper circulation. You know what? There's days I take and days I don't, but just using the upper circulation, I'll start that one of these days and show you how I turn this hair color just with the one upper circ, Brandon. But remember, my hair was as white as this wall. You're starting to see some color in it, but real gal. What's working for me at the moment? Grape juice, good. Herbs and a large spoonful of Dr. Martha. I love you, girl. Thank you, sweetheart. Fruit, berries. I'm used to your new name now, kiddo. I'm a long way from being a fruitarian. Well, it's okay. I'm really, what a great level to live at. But today's world, I'm not advocating it. But certainly in a detoxification scenario, you want to visit it because you're not going to detox well or deep if you don't. So, our channel's more on detoxification. Lifestyles, that all can be what you want it to be. Where do you want to be? What level do you want to be? Because there is a lot of factors coming in here. Some of you guys are very spiritual, and you keep connecting to consciousness and opening to yourself as consciousness, it can be overpowering. Especially when you have spiritual beings helping you, can be overpowering. So sometimes you seek balance in your foods. So there's just so many factors. I don't hold anything. I've been through all these things, all these different levels of balance and imbalance that I don't judge anybody. Are you kidding me? But if you want to detox and get deeper, this is what you got to do. Okay? Whether you can maintain a fruitarian, I heard someone mention they were a fruitarian for 10, 20 years. God bless you if you can. God bless you if you can. I've just had so many things happen in my life. I'm sure you all have too. I totally agree with what you're saying. It's fun working towards getting the thanks. Top of the mountain. Sounds good to me. Looking forward to doing a detox soon with you. Good. Go for it, sweetheart. JG, thanks, Kelly. Saying Dr. Morris' Secret Channel is now being used to hype all this snake oil. I know, JG. You know what? But that's part of what's going on there. I don't know what to say, Kelly. I've talked to you. You told me about Wonder Why he's here. Now Wonder Why is saying doesn't even know you. What's going on here? I mean, I don't know. See, when you talk to me, you're going to get straight. I don't double talk anybody. This is straight talk. I don't care who it is. I don't have time to waste. So that's what I expect from you guys, Maybe temper it a little bit. I love how you guys temper it a little bit, but I do love that a little bit. I try to temper mine too. But when you're talking about Kelly, either you're out and out lying, or so is Wonder Why. So I don't know. And furthermore, I don't care. I just don't slander me. If you don't like the protocols or you don't like the life, don't do it. Kelly, if you don't like it, you don't believe in it, don't do it. Whoever, don't do it if you don't believe it. I'm sorry. This is a compassionate, healing, helping channel. That's I just want you guys to let's all keep it that way because you guys are so good. And we want this. This is actually, I've thought about this before, a big part of the school in a way. I'm making this the education focus. This is all about education for us. And try it on and wear the robe, and you will see where I'm coming from. And you will be the supreme healers on the planet because we need your level of understanding. And we need a lot more people to grab a hold of this. My mom also has very dark eyes, but she has a light blue circle around her eyes. Does this say something? This is SHERSTUG. Well, that's hard to say whether that's a scurf rim or a skin ring you're seeing. It's just seeing some blue fibers come through. Whether it's a bigger portion of the eye that you're actually seeing the blue fibers, and around the pupil she's either brown or orange. I'd have to know more about that one, honey, to answer your question straightforward here, or whoever this is. I'm with Gary McCarthy. Please, Dr. Morse, could you also do some iridology, kinesiology? I went to an iridologist and she could not read my eyes because of too much pigmentation in it. Well, you're going to have to go to an ophthalmologist. Get a good camera, get up there and take your picture there. Thank you. Thank you. Love you too, man. Yeah, just go to an ophthalmologist and get a picture, or someday come around here somewhere. I don't know where you're calling from or writing from, but we'll get them. We'll get them. A good camera with appropriate light structure can get them, no matter how dark they are. Here's Professor. All right. Great video. Oh, thanks for the video. 61 part 1. I don't know what it was, but I enjoyed hearing of the instruments. Oh, yeah. I love music. I mean, music is just, I know it's probably in your soul too. It's in all of our souls. I just love music. And remember, when you're working in the now, start listening. Start listening. Don't listen so much outwardly. Listen to the music within you, and you will hear the music. It might sound like a bunch of crickets at first, but keep surrendering to the inner music, and then you'll have the music of God. And it's different at different levels. It can be an orchestra, or it can be the single note of a flute. Beautiful stuff. I could make and study music for hours on it. Yeah, you're a good musician, I take it. During my recent healing crisis, I composed and improvised at the keyboard for almost all day. Good. Music making and the diet certainly go hand in hand. Go, man, go. I know a lot of fine musicians. Now this is Kratos. I haven't talked to you in a while. With stomach and bowel capsules interfere with the lemon juice fast? No. Actually, a good friend of mine, Mr. Mutt, took stomach and bowel, I think he was on number 3, all the way up till like the 25th day of his, he was on 27, I think, lemon juice, and he got stool out for almost all of it. So no, wouldn't interfere at all. Angel B, Dr. Morris, could you talk about different things people can do to improve their lymphatic system? I know exercise, dry skin brushing, and massage are good. Any other therapies? Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at all these type of therapies, you could say hydrotherapy, hot and cold treatments, the therapy of relaxation, definitely a key. A big key, more than you realize, sometimes more than exercise. Remember we talked about if your kidneys weren't filtering and you were exercising heavily, you could hurt more? Absolutely. When you're filtering, I don't care. But if you're not filtering, take exercise easy, take relaxation hard, and enjoy music, and hot and cold therapy, hydrotherapy, some sun therapy. That really just kind of dries you up, but still, it's good. But all that sort of thing. Work on these neurolymphatic points on your body. Work on reflexology on your body. The raw food therapy, particularly the fruitarian therapy, the herbal therapy. There might even be some good essential oils. My sister used to use lemon and certain essential oils in her sauna. She had a steam sauna. I think steam saunas are great, or sweat lodges, anything like that. And really start doing that. I think the ultimate is chemistry and magnetics, and I think that comes in your food. The fruits and the herbs, to me, are the king of the hill at moving lymph. And it might take you a while, but still, you just head in that way. Good question. Tom Karate, I am on an all-fruit diet and am growing new... Oh, yeah, I already answered that. Thank you, JG. Just love you. Steve, pay attention to how many times... How many times I use the word simplicity? But if I can drive it into you. You guys figuring me out? You know, I've been a teacher all my life, and some of you guys are seeing my little techniques here. Is there a way to reverse genetic hair loss holistically? You know, I don't tie hair loss in genetics at all. I tie hair loss to acidosis and the, shall we say, the constipation of the lymph system. What is inherent is the cell. And yes, we could say the hair follicles are cells, but realistically, the kidneys, the adrenals, the heart, the liver, the brain, everything of a cell is genetic, no question about it. But truly what takes off hair is more the lymph system than anything else there is. And even if you said your father had balding, it is your genetics in your lymph system and your kidneys that are really at the core of this. So by fixing the core of this, if you're balding, you will grow hair. You will grow hair no matter what. I've never had a case in my life that was so bald we couldn't have hair grow. I've had a couple. There was a guy the other day, real slow to grow, for sure. And I have him on upper circ. I'm moving the lymph, so, you know, he's taking a while to get his hair growing. For sure, and I have him on upper circ. I'm moving the lymph, so, you know, he's taking a while to get his hair growing. But to me, hair growth is just a natural phenomenon of a healthy body. What worries me is the young men that are going, their hairlines are receding and going bald in their 20s. That worries me for their future of Alzheimer's, dementia, their future of keeping their mental apparatus in shape. This is scary because where we see people in their 70s or 80s in nursing homes, we are such at a level of decay in cells that we might start to see a lot of 20 and 30-year-old in nursing homes. It breaks your heart. We got to pull ourselves out of this. Mark, 24 years old, son. I still struggle with my knee injury. Okay, so here we're going back to the lymph system here. You got to get your lymph system, your kidneys fixed here, so that knee injury will heal. Remember, I talked earlier on this about Calma Plus or some parathyroid tissue to help healing this. But now I'm healing very rapidly. Okay, good. My physical and mental performance got much better. Good, since I've started the raw fruits. Go, man, go. Good, everything's coming up. Only 2 weeks per raw, most of the fruits. Go. Mark, you're kicking butt, young man. Raw boy, yeah. Good job, bro. Go, Drew. Hey, I showed him this. Composer. He loves to have people like him. Angel B, when it comes to children getting sick, I think it's important to consider the fact that many of them have had many vaccines. Oh, no question. I mean, it's just, we're bringing souls in, taking these bodies in a highly genetic decline of tissue performance and health, a high toxic world of neurotoxicity, a medical doctor gone wild and mad, pharmacopoeia like nobody's business, an FDA that doesn't care. There's a certain amount of deaths acceptable because this drug has life-saving. What? I mean, so you're coming into a planet like that. These poor kids. And they're the golden childs. In addition to other toxic chemicals in them, there's also formaldehyde. Did I know there was formaldehyde in vaccines? Son of a... add to that the added hormones and antibiotics. Oh yeah. The added hormones and antibiotics in the meat? No kidding. What about the neurotransmitters in slaughterhouse meat? You know, no one thinks about the high amount of of neurotransmitters found in slaughterhouse meat because of the way we slaughter them and how that impacts the adrenal glands. And this is another reason I think we're really losing our adrenal glands in terms of the medulla and the neurotransmitters, is because of so much heavy slaughterhouse meat eating and the ingestion of neurotransmitters. Remember, when you ingest neurotransmitters, steroids, or hormones, you're going to lose the function of your glands. And if you don't want to lose the function of your glands and you want to get the take on that persona of health and vitality of tissue, then you have to walk this walk. But yeah, these kids are coming into this world. But you guys, and you great mothers out there, and you guys are making a big difference, and you're making inroads. The mountain is big, but we're breaking it down, and you guys are doing very well. Keep it up. You mothers out there, I'm proud. There's a whole bunch of mothers that are putting their children to raw food, even C-stall to a certain extent. You've got to convince your children, and it's tough going into these schools, but these schools should be having salad bars for lunch, not hamburgers and pizzas and milk. Hi, can a raw diet heal MS? Does a bear poop in the woods? I was diagnosed in '96. I am having a Robert Morris-a-thon tonight. Well, you keep watching the young lady that's walking with MS, and then you ask yourself, she was wheelchair bound. And I've had them worse. I've had them totally prone, stiff as a board. Got them going. So let me tell you, can you? There's nothing you can't. Let's put it that way. There's nothing you can't. And with that kind of attitude, there's nothing you can't. I've never seen anything the body couldn't regenerate. Yes, I've had the medical doctor people take people down so low, I could not get them back. When it's the kids, I go have a good cry. But you get your butt in gear there, my dear. Lilac Festival. Love it. I was in Texas, and they were having a big festival there. I was turned on to this by Dan the Man. Good, Dan the Man. How's he doing anyway? I think he called the other day talking to him. I think he's coming to the class. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a few years at the class. Some people retake it often. I never knew there was such a thing as a holistic nurse. You betcha. And you're 42 years old, Karen lady. Karen, you get that MS out of you, dear one. And get on the raw and get going. Get up upper circuit brain and nerve. If you have any brain lesions, get your lymph moving, get your bowels cleaned up, get your adrenals turned on, and you will go forth MS free. I wish to apologize to you and the other folks here for my tirade about colostrum in animals yesterday. You asked a question, well, that's okay. You know, we all get a little rowdy here. So it's okay. I like this this thing about this formula, clarity. You know, when you first read the research, or what they claim is the research on everything from Noni to Motivy to everything. Here's everything under the sun. The best, you've got to have this. It's a marketplace. And people are, thanks to some of you guys bringing out the truth here, it has a pH of 0.5. Holy crap. That means that it's 5 times hotter than battery acid. I don't see how that's possible. Wow. That's a bad product. I hope the FDA does something about that. They probably already have. I'm not familiar with it. I just don't. If it's not an herb, now I know I'm into glandulars, and you're seeing why. But if it's not an herb, I just don't waste my time and your future suffering. Because how would you like to come to me and I load you down with supplements and you had faith, You went home and you did them, and you did them for a year, and you found out that some of them did major damage to the tissues in your body. What would you think? You wouldn't like it, would you? Matter of fact, I wouldn't like it either. I would be, as a practitioner, upset at myself that I gave someone something that would hurt them. We need that kind of thinking in the pharmaceutical industry. But I just don't get excited over products because I'm already excited over what God made. I'm excited over the botanical kingdom. Why would I get excited about some extreme sulfur? Or something that has an extreme acid pH? Why would I get excited over that? I'm already excited, like I said, be excited over something. Be excited that God made some neat herbs on this planet, and getting them fresh and doing them right. There's nothing more powerful. We grab at straws and not want to focus on the real and the reality of this. And you guys are focusing on the reality. Whether your friends like it or not, when they're in trouble, they've got two choices. Well, they got two or three choices. If this is one of them, they're going to be good. If it's not, not so good. We see the whole people trace around to the medical, then the nature pass, and they slowly make their way around through this way. Unfortunately, valuable time can be lost with those that are really hurting bad. I love the lone state, Miss Raven. I personally believe you must spend a tremendous amount of time alone without friends, phones, TV, etc. I couldn't say it any better. Right on. Bravo. Because you have to. You have to love yourself. You have to say, you know what, I'm okay. I might not be the handsomest or the prettiest person, or I might not have the best, but I'm okay. Because as soul, I'm as bright as 10 billion suns. I'm using these bodies to experience creation. And that even makes you a beautiful divine child. Talking about children, what's the easiest way to get the tinctures into small children? Fart? No, you wouldn't do that. My kids are having a problem with the taste. No kidding. Well, Trader, I'll say, my dear, you want to put them in some grape juice. Is the best juice to hide the liquids in there is grape juice. Not apple juice, not orange juice. Grape juice. Now, can mix some herbs in with applesauce. That's what a lot of folks do. Some of these kids are just belly right. I'm amazed at some of these kids. They take their dosages right down. But in reality, they are a bit strong. So you might find some juices and flavorings to help them with that. Certainly they're strong. I wish I had a better menstruum that had a flavor and that we could extract so much out of them, but out of the herb. But vinegar is not, and glycerin are real way down, and I don't like glycerin at all. And I hate vinegar. What's the difference between how glandulars and formulas help restore cellular memory? How do acids relate to this? For example, I have PXE, a gene mutation that results in mineralization of elastic fibers in eyes, skin, and other tissues. They think it's mostly about how the liver and kidney expresses the MRP6 protein. So you really wouldn't have a gene problem. You would have a kidney and liver problem. Let's see. Will liver glandulars or a formula help? I'm using parathyroid and kidney formula. Thanks. P.S. Lolo, as in a suit word for love, not because you have us always looking at. You're funny. I read this last night. God, she's funny. I like that, dear one. You're a sweetie. The only thing I can say about the glandulars is that when you're consuming chemistry, you're consuming consciousness as well. So it certainly is about consciousness, like stem cells, the same type of thinking. There's a consciousness there and a magnetic energetics there that impacts cells. Because remember, it isn't just chemistry that impacts cells. Your own consciousness energetically impacts cells. So everything impacts cells, maybe mind more so than matter. Remember, mind over matter. Depends how strong you are in your mind. Many people make themselves sick with their mind. I think that's what a lot of you are seeing that is keeping some people from finding their cure is their mind and their emotions. They've been tampered with so much that they don't have any faith anymore. They don't have any control anymore. They're actually a leaf blowing in the wind. And I was telling Kelly last night, quit being a leaf blowing in the wind. So, and get on the diet. You're not on the diet. You're making these accusations about health and you're not even on the friggin' diet. But, gene mutation, a cell is a gene mutation. I mean, in looking at today's world, we're just genetics stacked on top of genetics, stacked on top of genetics. It's all about the memory patterns and cells and their memory patterns. When you hook the spiritual insight to this, which I've given you when I went over that on the video of how creation is created, and we'll have it again in the class, because if you grasp that, then you have a real good understanding of how life works, at least an overview of that. And that's real important, I think, for one spiritually, to know a little bit about the construction of creation and where they fit in that. I think that's important. To me, the genetics is in your kidneys. Maybe in the liver, possible. And so the demineralization is an acid issue, though. And that isn't genetics. That's the lymph system. What's genetics is what controls the lymph system. Absolutely, adrenals and kidneys. So some medical doctors throw genetics out there like it's some mystery. Ooh, it's this thing in the kidneys process this and this and this. I don't even go into that world because that world has no curative value in it. And it serves to only confuse and puff up those in that world. I don't play in that world anymore. No way. Not worth the time and effort. Spend that much time in the mind, spend it on God, and you'll find a whole different way of viewing life. Detoxify yourself, dear one. Get your kidneys moving. You can see you're fighting the adrenals here. That's your picture. Liver glandulars. You could use liver glandulars, kidney glandulars, but use the herbs too and really move your lymph, and you'll find this all turning around for yourself, sweetheart. Your connective tissue, remember, repair a thyroid gland, connective tissue, be real important for that, and move lymph. And everything will rebuild, dear one. Low, because I'm getting low with the instrument. Well, come on. If someone asks you what you do, tell them you're a janitor. People come in, they say, "Hi, what do you?" I'm your janitor. I'm here to roll up my sleeves and clean your butt out. I'm not offended by that. That's what doctors are. They should go in, clean you out, and rebuild you. Isn't that what a mechanic's supposed to do to a motor? A carpenter does to a house? A plumber does to the plumbing? Sometimes you got to take out the old parts and or where the minerals broke things down, minerals, and got rid of them. I mean, those of you that did get into health concerns, and health research, and got some of these good books, I'll have them at the class. But read some of the thinking on minerals. That ought to really turn you on. Because what's true at one level isn't true at another level. So you guys are going to find, since you're stepping on the top of the mountain, you guys are going to find some truths that very few people are privy to. And that for some people they sound bizarre. Read Arnold Ehret. He was privy to these truths because he did it. I've been privy because I've done it. I'm privy on balance. I'm privy on some of these things because I've been up, I've been down, been all around. But You just keep your focus, keep yourself straight. You're in the healing part of this. Don't let genes and their genetic theories go you, because the genetics is that easier for you to understand. Get your cells back in a state of thinking that they're healthy and knowing that they're healthy. Getting yourself healthy in terms of consciousness and emotions and mind. That all plays with the health of your cells. It all is interwoven. You don't. There's nothing separate. I will tell you what is insane. This is fruit, berry, and melons. Eating cheese and sitting back and waiting for the pain. Eat what you like, but cheese reacts in our bodies right away. Oh, did a little cheating, did we? I never could understand why anybody likes cheese in the first place. Of course, I know you guys in Sweden and France and stuff, you like your cheese, no offense. Yuck! I can smell the cheese cart as the cheese maître d' or whatever you call him comes rolling it out of the kitchen. Can I use for the adrenal or kidney a tea made out of parsley, nettle, corn silk, ginger root, cinnamon, orange peel, and dandelion root and leaves? Go, Brenda, go. Go, girl. Absolutely. Are you kidding? I just want you to look at the botanical world as our bounty. This is the nectar of the gods. Play. Go forth and play, as they say. Absolutely. I love herbs. I'm anxious to hear you guys and your experiences with herbs. That's how we grow and learn. We shouldn't be an FDA that's constipated and trying to shut down herbs. We want to learn. We don't want to go to labs and learn. You don't learn anything in labs. You don't dissect an herb and say, oh, look, this has got a strong alkaloid. It's a bad herb, can't use it. And thousands of people, and tens of thousands of people have been using it for generations with no problems. Please. God. I'm trying to save money and have above one hand. Yeah, use all that. Absolutely. Get out in your yard. Go out in the woods. Thanks for loving the videos, Brenda. Good job. Good job. I agree with you 100% on the dry fast. Try the dry fast. I've not done a lot of dry fasts. But certainly, I have no problems with anything. Have fun with them all. Matter of fact, what I love about you guys is that you guys like to tear it up. Some of you guys that go out there and do that, I love that. I love dealing with some of you younger people because it helps to keep me younger too. I've always said, being in Florida, you see a lot of older people. And some of the older people don't want young people around. And I always found that ridiculous because without the youth, you get old too fast. It's the youth that helps you keep your youth. So I really appreciate all you young guys and gals. It's changed my... Oh, thanks for your comment there, Ravester. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And that makes me... he's saying that he appreciates that I've changed his life and forever and stuff, and that gets me. This is Eric. It's possible to control these herbs and techniques. Yeah. They do not want us to have them. Oh, my God. We are being soft-killed. Thanks for the vids. Hugs and cuts. Thanks, Vista, California. Oh, it's a mess out there. You ever watch, well, he's not on yet. I hope he comes back on. Ventura, Jesse Ventura. And he was showing these fusion centers. And I have friends from FEMA because FEMA was here when we had the hurricane hit us a few years ago, dead on hit us, and we lost 60% of our businesses. So they came over to visit me, FEMA did, and they were stuck in a big grocery store as their command center, and it was full of mold. So I had to teach them how to use, say, the parasitic formulas and get their lymph and their kidneys going. So I'd go down and give talks with them. I got some friends in there, and so a guy came in the other day, a real close friend, high up in FEMA, and he says, oh, you heard about the fusion centers, did you? Funny. I mean, scary. I'll tell you who should visit them right now. Washington, D.C., take most of those people and let them go visit a fusion center. I think there's a meditation hall. There's swings outside you can play with. Itchy area on scalp, sore about the size of a dime. Detox, detox, detox. Now, you can put a salve on top of that, but this is an internal problem, so always think internal cleaning it. But if you need to take care of it, put an antifungal salve or one of our healing salves on there. It'll help. But remember, this is coming from inside and it's on the scalp, meaning you've got a brain underneath there. Get that lymph moving, get your kidneys, get your adrenals, get your colon fixed up, and take care of that spot that way. But you can put a little salve and stuff and it'll help it immensely. Maybe even make it go away. But that also shows you what's lying underneath. I'm going to have to cut this pretty soon, and I've got so much to talk with you about. If you put 40 days of grapes and lemons coupled with all the correct formulas at 100% effectiveness for removing lymph, at what percentage would you put just grapes and lemons? I don't care. I don't care. I would have more grapes and lemons, probably 70-30, 60-40. The funky bobo nuts. I don't know, man. That's pretty big apples you got there. Why are lemons good and pineapples bad? They're not bad. It's just that both of them, you have to be careful about unripe fruit. That's all I'm saying. And with pineapple, it's so green in these stores. There's nothing like it. Talk to anybody that's ever had a fresh pineapple off a plant. Just nothing like it. But this is true of fresh ripe. That's all I'm saying is that if you're in a lot of pain, and some of you have had too much, so much that you get mouth sores, that's just too acidic. But I love pineapple. I can scarf good pineapple down. But again, if we buy it green, it only ripens by fermentation. Remember, the banana is only one of the few foods that ripens nutritively first after you pick it unripe. Yeah, but you do the best you can. I love them. I used to sell carob-covered pineapples in my health food stores and carob-covered bananas. Of course, put on a little weight sucking them down. I put on a lot of weight after I come down a little bit off of fruitarian and opened up a health food store. What can I do with my life? Serve, help others. So I thought health foods, I get good, educate people. But man, at health food stores, like all kinds of goodies, 90% of a health food store is not healthy at all. But in the early years, we didn't know that. Whole grains, remember, raw milk's all good for you, right? I've been through those stages. Thanks for the comment, my friend. I don't know about those apples of yours. I am on the fruit diet. He's a little picture for me, and boy, these pull bad juices out of my body. Good, go for it, Monica. I love it and feel great. Good, love you, honey. Keep pulling those nasty juices out of your body. Thanks for another great video. Oh, thanks, 63. I can't remember what 63 is. I had unacceptable levels of barium, which showed in my hair analysis what formula. You know what? A lot of greens. This is 09908, etc. A lot of greens, probably parsley, dandelion greens, kale, things like that. But move your lymph. That's key. Fruits, grapes, move your lymph. That'll clean that out of you. Especially if it's a hair analysis, move your lymph, and that'll clean it out of you, and you'll be in good shape there. I like greens to help balance neurotoxins and heavy metals when you're detoxifying, but certainly getting deeper into these tissues where some of these metals could be is going to be a fruit experience. This is Bandit. Love it. Dr. Morris, I turned like a light bulb when you mentioned my name. Oh, thanks. Good. Go, my friend. Thank you for your comment, too. There. Are you doing good on your program? Good job, Bandit. My True Serenity. You guys got some good names. I have to hand it to you. Good job, Bandit. My True Serenity. You guys got some good names. I have to hand it to you. Excuse me. Thanks for the great information. I was going to bring you and show you these big pomelos. They are so good. If you wanted to detox gently, can one begin with lymph, kidney, and adrenals for 2 weeks? Oh yeah, you can play with this at any level. 1, affordability. 2, you think your body can tolerate. I'm just put the pedal to the metal kind of guy, just because of the seriousness of what we deal with. So I'm just a pedal to the metal kind of guy. Forgive me, but people come in here, you're not going to stay with me. They can't afford it. We're not that expensive. I mean, you look at some of these prices. I'm getting a feedback on some of these naturopaths. It's like I'm so underpriced it's not even funny. One person just told me it was $350 to go to this naturopath, $200 more for him to do something else, so you're at 5 or 6 bills, and I don't know, do you get an hour for that? So I don't charge a lot of money, never have. I've always been, for our level of ability, we're much more than reasonable. Washington, D.C., some of the naturopaths are $900 to visit them. I just don't believe in ripping. That's just not, I just can't figure out why they rip like that. They should be proud that they're a naturopath and serving the Supreme Being, but they're medical naturopaths. Dan Oman, I'm really glad this issue of anger has been brought up. Yeah, you were right there. Yeah, I mean, the liver, again, a good seat of anger. Get the adrenals up. The emotion can drive that a little bit. Get into the now. Lose the memory patterns. Who cares? Let them stay stored in the causal world. We don't care about the Akashic records. They're dead images. You're awake and alive and aware now. And keep that awareness now. Clean that body to where the body is nothing but a cloud that you don't even know you have. Forget this body. Get it so healthy you don't even know. Because a healthy body, you won't even know you're having a body, especially when you're working in consciousness. If you want to have a little sex, you better bring something to get yourself down a little bit. But outside of that, stay in the clouds. Lion Man, well said always, my friend. Well said. You're such a great soul. Such a great soul. Thank you all for your compassion and support. I love you all so much. Yellowing of hands. Hello, Dr. Morris. Hope all is well. A friend of mine, 34 years old, has been following a low-fat, raw vegan diet for 1.5 years, so he says. That's what I say. I mean, you got to always remember that, because you'll have clients that swear they're doing the program. Now, you can tell I'm not all raw. I'm pretty high up there, but I'm not all raw. But you can, and you'll see when I am, because I will be. I flow in and out of that. But you can tell. I can tell when someone's doing the do and when they're not. So sometimes I say, so you say, in my mind. I'm going to respect what you say. I take everybody at their word. I do. But there's sometimes when I don't see it reflecting, because I know where you're going to go with this. I know where I can take you if you'll follow. And it is a level that'll freak you out. It's a level of endurance and vitality and consciousness that make you do somersaults. His diet consists of mostly fruit with fair share of leafy greens, veggies, nuts, and seeds. As a child, he has had many mercury fillings, which he has since removed. His hands have a yellowish tint that almost never fades away. Well, obviously he's not moving lymph well. So whether it's B vitamins or some type of oil or fat in him, some type of beta carotene or something. He's got to clean his liver out. He's got to get his kidneys filtering. He's got to get his adrenals up, get his valves cleaned up, and all those yellow hands will go away. He went vegetarian in the 90s, drank a liter of milk a day, and went vegan. Well, like I said, he's not moving this whatever this yellowing is. It could be from vitamins and mineral supplements. It could be a beta carotene. It could be anything. So you got to clean his liver, He can be in anything, any kind of dyes, anything in his body, but he's not cleaning it out. So he's got and he drank so much of this milk, his lymph system's clogged. He's got got to get the kidneys, get the lymph moving, and his hands will clean up. His childhood consisted of excessive antibiotic use. Well, I hate to say that could be sulfur, but it could be sulfur. Could be sulfur in his hands if he was on high antibiotic. See, he was on high antibiotic use as a child, and yet he drank a lot of milk not too long ago. A liter of milk a day. What in the hell? Who ever told him to do that? I'm guessing he has lymph and liver problems. You are right on, bro. You are not a guess. You guys are getting knowledgeable. I love that. Suggested he try a few weeks on most. Good man, Andrew. Smart, Andrew. Thank you so much as always. Thank you, my man. Good work, Andrew. Good work, all of you, but good work, Andrew. Here's Healing to Health. Thanks, I love you too there. I was really wondering if you put your focus to it, could you regenerate? Yeah, you asked me that before. Looky here. And it's, we've been here about 2 hours. Then I got to write all this up for Chris. He's going to love this one. Can you detox on mangoes? Well, of course. Absolutely. King of fruits in the tropics, the proof is. Definitely go out. Boy, if you can get some good mangoes, I'm jealous. Remember that big mango I showed you? I only had a few of those. It's too busy to go down here about 50 miles and get them. That's how busy I am. It's also a cop-out. I could have went late at night and stole them out of their fields. The kid, the man. We've had a lot going on here. The kid, the man won. Interesting. Can undertaking a fruit detox improve things such as long and short-term memory? You betcha. Concentration? You betcha. Use upper circuit brain and nerve with that? You betcha. Big time. And can it also in stabilizing mood disorders? You betcha. Get your adrenals, get your parathyte. Go after your endocrine glands. Really dig into that body, my friend, and pop up those endocrine glands. Get upper circuit brain and nerve going up in there. Get into this high magnetic, high regenerative diet, and you can regenerate the awareness, the ability to maintain memory, the ability to separate mind and memory from yourself, even. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate, to you too. Get in there and take off on this, my friend, and you will see a major, major difference. I've talked about children we've detoxified that weren't doing well at school at all. Now take a look. I mean, just that one principal in Georgia where she's a black female. She looked at that. Now, some of these black moms, they don't take much crap. These older women, they're pretty smart. They told the line. I respect the manners of a lot of people. I respect when moms build manners within their children. And I see it a lot in some of these older black women. They just make, kids are very mannered. And so she's a principal of a school, and she started, she was low on the academic level of the state, low on the sick days and all that. Well, she just got rid of all the junk. She brought in salads and fruits. Now she's at one of the highest academic levels of the schools in Georgia, and the sick days are nil next to none with her whole school. This lady needs a gold star hanging on the outside of her office and some blue ribbons. Good job, sweetheart. This is just what needs to do. And now other schools are going, oh, look. I mean, come on. Get the white flour, get the pizzas, get the crap out of these schools. Get them on fruits and veggies. Ditch the milks. Whew. And get them off of these grains. We're fattening our kids up like cattle and hogs. Not good to be overweight. Dr. Morris, I'm a fan believer, but I'm confused about a treatment. Okay. Dr. Bernardo, whatever, ND, believes acidosis is the cause of all diseases, etc., but is a strong believer in not allowing most fruit sugars into the healing process when treating cancer. Well, that's about par for the course out there, I think. as the sugars turn to lactic acid when feeds tumors. Now wait a minute. Sugar feeds the lactic acid, or does it turn into uric acid? Oh, wait a minute. All things basically will turn into some form of acid sometime on their journey down the road to their death. So, I don't believe that. But, okay. I use fruit always in cancer cases. I've said this over and over on this video, and I have no reason to lie one way or another on it. If I thought vegetables worked better than fruit, you'd be on them. But we see this. I've had this run with Hippocrates for years. And I always see their clients with the tumors coming over here. I sit and hear this all the time. Their blood work looks good. They feel better, but their cancer and tumors are still there. Hear this all the time. Constantly. And for one to believe that the natural food your body's designed to eat feeds cancer is just stupid. Because what is cancer? It's an acid-damaged cell. It's a mutated cell from acids. Lactic acid, that's more from muscle activity. If you burn maybe glucose, you have a reaction to that. Maybe if you break it down, it's the final thing. But I can't remember. It's been too many years, and I'm too old to go back and remember and even care. You know, if you fall into these kind of thinkings, okay, if you want to follow Bernardo and his cancer, go right ahead, but he's not going to have the success we do by far. I'm sorry, Bernardo, but I use nothing but fruits, and we have nothing but high success rate. Yeah, we have our tough cases, but if you have a 95% cure rate in cancers with your health programs, then I'll applaud you, but we do. But again, we don't treat cancer. We're not about cancer here. We're about the health of the cell. We don't care about diseases here at all. That's insanity. We just happen to notice that about 95% of our people that come in here with all forms of cancer seem to walk out without it. I don't buy into that at all, ever. If you're going to say glucose does too. Well, then you can't have glucose. Then you can't have sugar. If you can't have sugar, you're a dead duck. Plain and simple. You're a dead duck. Feeds tumors, feeds tumors, tumors feeds tumors. What is a tumor in the first place? Is it a living, breathing entity on its own? Could be. I guess if it had a blood supply, you could almost call that sometimes. No, it's fluids. A tumor and a cyst are fluids. Where do these fluids come from? How about interstitial fluids? What is the interstitial fluids of the body? Blood and lymph. What is tumors full of? Blood and lymph. What is a cyst full of? Blood and lymph. What is a big juicy pimple full of? Blood and lymph. So if you say a sugar feeds that, that's weird. This is an inability to filter lymph. This is a lymph system that isn't filtering, that's backed up, plain and simple, and the damage that occurs on the cell from it. If you make more out of that than it is, then you're going to be lost in the world of trying to get well. He allowed some berries and Granny Smith apples. It is possible, wait a minute, this is fruit sugar. It is possible that fruit sugars could feed a tumor. His father was an MD. Well, that was the problem all along. I was put on trial and convicted of treating cancer. Oh, man. This guy's father was an MD, a Korean vet, was put on trial and convicted of treating cancer. I was put on trial and convicted of treating cancer. Oh, man. This guy's father was an MD, a Korean vet, was put on trial and convicted of treating cancer. Convicted. Sometimes these low levels just make me want to throw up. This poor MD. There's a couple of MDs in jail that shouldn't be in jail. I have a good friend that's an MD's in jail for tax evasion. 10 years. 10 years for following the law. So how many years do you think that judge and those IRS agents and the Department of Justice attorney that prosecuted him, how many years should they get? He's got 10 for doing nothing wrong. I feel sorry for him. I've tried to help him a little bit. My legal team has helped him a little bit, but facing a lot of corruption here. I feel sorry for that guy's MD. But I don't feel sorry for him if he's claiming fruit feed cancer. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's read one too many lab reports on bull crap that doesn't exist. Yowza, man. The intellectuals are funny. The ego is so subtle, strong, and it wants to be right. So, isn't that the truth? There are many opinions, and one can go back and forth all day about what pulls out toxins more, water or grape juice or lemon juice. I love the way you think, guys, man. This is the way I think. You know what? Fruits, lemons, grapes, I don't care. Yeah, I'm with you. I love that. I love this response here. Oh, that cayenne pepper isn't good for the body, yet the master cleanse. You know, this is what you're reading here, guys. You guys have to use your own common sense. With the natural foods that God makes for man, in their raw state, hurt him. You have to realize, again, you always have to remember what species the Homo sapien is, frugivore species. Yes, he's been omnivorish for a lot of time. Yes, it's going to be a very long road back to frugivores. Yes, 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 but why can't we all start it? At least start the journey back to Wellville, you know? So there's so much of these opinions and these laboratory experiments, supposedly, but what is really going on in the real world of health? See, the problem is that the Medical Association, he could have went back and said deprivation of rights. He could have went after this a little differently. It's how you go after them. But you don't treat diseases. You don't treat cancer. These are the insane ravings of medical doctors. When they try to use the word diseases, it confuses themselves. It disempowers them. It's making people look at them. I mean, if medical doctors knew how the average person looks at them now, I don't want people looking at me that way. I want people to respect me for what I'm doing in my work and helping people, not in my work of being stupid and not helping people. So, we keep it simple. Always use the barometer I'm giving you to rationalize things. Keep it simple, and then nothing will tarnish and confuse you. And go forth. What herbs were in the singer's tea? I'll find out. When you say kelp, could you please explain what kind, like seaweed, dried? Yeah, any way you can get kelp. We sell Norwegian cold water kelp. We have it in a sprinkler like salt, but you can get it powdered and powder over your food, your salads, or encapsulated form or in pill. It doesn't matter to me. I don't like pills. I don't like capsules, but it depends what the binders are, fillers are. That's why I like a capsule in a way. If it's a veggie cap, it's still starch, but at least you're getting pure kelp without fillers or anything. Whatever you can find, but one thing's for sure, no iodine added. Don't use any iodine added kelp. Thanks. Sketching psychopath. I have eczema. Well, sketching psychopath. Get your kidneys, get your lymph system moving. You know, the same thing over and over again. Get your kidneys filtering, get your lymph moving. Your skin's your third kidney, bro. And so you just want to get your kidneys filtering that lymph, get your lymph moving. You could take a skin formula, but in reality, if you're tight with your funds, work on the lymph. Go into the GI tract. You might clean your liver up a little bit too. Spend maybe a month or two on the liver formula, go to the lymphatic 1 capsules, stomach and bowel capsules, and then go after, say, lymphatic 4 at first, and your adrenals or endocrine glands. I might want to do a Parasite M for a couple months too, and go down that road and really detoxify yourself, and that eczema will clear up real nice. And let's see, my body's been off of these creams for so far about 3 or 4 months, and my body is really pushing through everything. Now I have had eczema for the longest since I was born. Oh man, you're 21 now and you've had it all your life. Well, it shows you a serious amount of lymph stagnation. You also might find some sulfur in you too, and that so stay on that Parasite M for a while. Keep pulling on those tissues like we're talking about here. I am 21 now and have it just in my hands. Well, you know, just clean up your whole body anyway. Just clean the whole body up. You use creams. Well, that suppresses. So don't be surprised if you detox and things kind of explode on you a little bit, because a lot of these creams hold everything in subcutaneously, and then when you start detoxing, it's like, woohoo, let me out. So don't feel bad if that happens. Don't freak out. That's a natural process of cleansing here, which it kicked in back when I was 14, started the cream at 16. Moreover, I am now going to start my detoxing, and I'm changing my diet, good man, to the Real No Meal. Started as of 2 days ago. It was only 2 weeks ago that my hands have gotten the worst I have ever seen them, and I understand I will go through the worst before everything gets better, absolutely. I mean, medical cream, all this stuff serves to suppress, and if they realize we must expectorate, it's a major change and shift in consciousness. But people like you that's been on some of these creams and these cortisol type creams, steroid creams and stuff, oh my God, it just locks this into you guys. It slams your adrenal glands, so you're really going to have to spend some time bringing the adrenals up, really moving your lymph system, my friend. You're just going to have to do that. I have questions on what can I wear on my hands? Do the foods... Well, you definitely want something 100% cotton, probably, with no dyes or anything. Do the foods I eat and the cider have to be organic? No, but use a veggie wash to wash everything off. What should I use to clean my clothes? Well, you can use baking soda or some kind of I don't know what all these natural detergents have in them. You'd have to find one. I promised myself I would do all I can to make this better. You'll not get better, you'll cure it. Can I use the cure word? Anybody? I kind of wonder how bad it is bad. Don't worry about it. You'll see. If you get those kidneys and lymphs moving faster than sooner, I'd probably work harder on my kidneys and adrenals with 1 lymph formula for a while first. If you do the 2 lymph formulas, you might explode. I don't know. Just have to see, my friend. Should I do all these detox at different times? And to keep on honking down the road, get yourself past this, which would be the best one. How long may it take? People say months. No, I won't. No one can tell you how long. I'd have to have a picture of your eyes and see how bad your lymph system is or is not to give you any kind of accurate depiction. I would say probably more months than weeks in terms of a curative value. This is a whole life experience. This is genetics too in terms of the kidneys and adrenals, so it could take you a little while, but you're young. You're going to get better. After if it does come out, it's just going to get better and better and better. So just hang in there. It's worth the short period of time that things could appear worse, and it might not even. So you don't want to put anything out there and give it any power. You just be in the now and just go for it. People say, I'm okay even with 69 months. I have more. I know it won't be easy. It won't be easy answers about how long it will take to get better. So I'm just going to quickly go through my things I eat, taken in life. I've abused drugs like ecstasy and marijuana. My old diet was mostly rice, beans, chicken, milk, cheese. Ew! Oh, no wonder you can't get your skin better. A horrible diet. But you see why your skin is always having a problem with you, don't you? You're constantly feeding the sewer system in your body. Instead of cleaning it, you're feeding it. But from that, you can see that I was a great deal of diet that was mostly, yeah, acidic. Exactly, exactly. So you're doing well, sketching psychopath. Honk on, my friend, and conquer forth, so you shall. You will be fine, and you'll be well. You have this whole channel to help you. All these beautiful souls are helping all of you guys. I love you all for doing that. Thanks, JG, Lionman. Thanks, all you guys, Steve, all you guys for helping people, and Fruits, Berries, and Melon. All of you guys, Real Girl, all you guys. I love you all. You're fantastic.